Look at this. Can't use a bowl because it's green, but popped kettle pop popcorn. Good evening, everyone. I'm guessing these notifications didn't go out or something is up. Something is up. It's not reading comments from everywhere. Can everybody drop a comment just to let Aurora, I see yours. Can everybody else drop something? I just want to make sure it's funky with this. I can't figure it out. Hey, Stephanie. Thank you. Hey, Cindy. All right. Maybe it's just a slow Friday night. So I got this video. Apparently, this was like the night before she was arrested. There was yet another visit by police. I know somebody said the other day there were a lot of visits in a short amount of time. And this up, okay. Hi, Cindy. I do see you. Thank you. Hey, Nadia. Ginger and Carrie Payne. Oh, no. Everything okay, Carrie? Usually hospital visits aren't good. I need the headphones on. You know what? I'm going to do without the headphones. I need to find a way to hang this thing right here because this is what I want to do right there. I'll figure out a way for it to stay. Julia, how are you? Thank you for being here. Oh man, I've been watching some of that police body camera footage that's been coming out. I had to stop watching one of them when she was in the backseat of the police car. She's just screaming uncontrollable, like just poor thing. She's insane. She is. But I turned it down. I turned the volume down. But you know what? Her screaming, I thought she was going to just stop after a couple of maybe 30 seconds. But she just kept on going and kept on going. I was like, yeah, I had to turn it off. Yeah, I can't. It was too much. Like, way too much. Mike Knight, AKK. So, get your popcorn. Got mine. Sorry, but I am going to be chewing it online. And let's do this. Is he ready? I can get ready.
I'll see if my brother decides to join this. I wish he would give me a sign that he is then watching me. I need him to hear me face to face. Israel, are you there? Israel, where are you? Israel, where are you? Israel.
So that's her brother.
The land. Yeah, Israel, worshiping land. Israel. Israel, where are you? Are you here? Are you watching? Or are you ignoring me? Like everyone else is ignoring me. because they think that they're delusional and their thought of perception of God is the one true accurate God in this dominion. I can tell you how that is inaccurate. Okay, so there he is, attacking me again, sending more messages, text messages. As we both know, I signed off at 2400 hours
Midnight.
Central Standard Time, March 2nd, 2025. Technically, the beginning of March 3rd, 2025. A Monday, or so they say. This dumbass, my fucking brother, my brother Israel, this dumbass, keep attacking me, thinking that he's going to push everyone fucking away and that's going to solve everything. That he's going to find his true love. He's not reading what I'm telling him. He's blinded by all the hours he spent sucked into the screens, by all the times he ejaculated to women and everything, defiled things that he shouldn't have defiled. I'm sorry for him, but I need to expose his sins for him so he can come to his knees and recognize that there is God. And I whispered to him so many times while I was washing his hair. I cared for him when his mother didn't. I cared for him when his mother didn't. He's not watching this. He literally thinks that since I am crazy cuckoo in some people's eyes, and my brother's eyes, the one that molested me, all of these people that want to reject me now, my father, all that stuff, right? They want to sit there and contaminate and spread more rumors. Well, let me help someone. Let me help you heal, babe. Let me help you, and I call him babe. I call him, like, seriously? Who do you think you're talking to? I have explained since my entire life that I am here for a fragment of time. I'm trying to help you. I whispered into his ear, I wish you were a girl. I wish you'd understand that men hurt women. I never want you to hurt women. So he's a virgin to this very day. He never found love. He was unable to express himself because he was transported down here to Hot Springs and separated from me, the one who listened to his dreams, the one that listened to him and his pain. He is being selfish. I have had 1 hour of sleep. I'm not tired anymore. I see I have to continually preach to every individual and break them by exposing what's going on inside of their homes so that they can understand it's going on inside of everyone's homes. They are monitoring everyone at all times through the electronics, through the wiring, through candles, through all the mirrors, all these things. Spirits, phantasmos, phantoms, they're real in a different dimensional sphere. They were trying to see how willing we were to accept these things. I preached to my brother all the time. I was forced to wash his hair with my hands. Why do you think his hands at the very fingertips got taken from him? His little soft, delicate, feminine hands. I cursed him. Yet he doesn't understand. He still doesn't understand.
Okay, so this whole video is 2 hours and 23 minutes long.
Wake the fuck up. The possibilities that he could be Star-Lord.
From what I've seen, the bulk of,
the lover of the galaxy.
not the bulk, but I guess the good stuff happens around
share his fucking
inside the last 30 minutes when police show up.
You are harboring fucking fugitives' secrets.
So we can hear a little bit of what she's saying now, and maybe at some point I'll just skip ahead a little bit. At least you guys want to hear it all, that's okay too.
Straight on apology to the camera from all of these people, accepting the truth. They did these things in the past. They suffered through mental illness in this day and age. They didn't seek therapy. I did, to heal everyone. I am here to heal my family and to connect them again. That's why I keep coming back. My stupid fucking brothers don't get it. So I guess we have to take away the house. I guess they don't get it. Family comes first. So my brother has been stealing and robbing data. Pirating. He's a pirate. Digital data. Both my brothers. The one that was molesting me, the one that was in the house, watched all this in denial that my brother hurt me.
Hey, Vicky.
He chose the negative over the positive. And now he's wondering why he's suffering. You rejected me when I lived with you. You rejected me on Cali Lane. You hated me. You stayed away from me. You didn't want to talk to me. You felt like I was the reason you were suffering.
I
You
believe
are
this
your own
is
reason.
the
We
night
were born
before
into
she
the
got
same
arrested.
family, and now
The
he's trying
night
to push
before.
everyone away like a fucking idiot. I told him he was going to lose his house because he kicked me off of his property, and he
Hey,
never fully apologized. I was homeless and seeking help and shelter, and he refused me. He rebuked me, called me the demon. Well, let me exercise you, bitch. Let me fucking bring you to goddamn damn fucking knees and let them snatch you the fuck up so you know what the fuck I lived through so you can stop bitching. We will wait for you. However many months until you stop screaming and mommy doesn't come in and get you. Leticia does. Are you okay, bitch? I'm gonna straight up tell you to your fucking face, you little fucking pussy. I'm done with you texting me incessantly, repetitive fucking long ass chain messages in the middle of the fucking night when I need to sleep. He said, oh, I didn't mean to. Yeah, well, that's not a full apology. Tell me to my fucking face in my eyes that you apologize for wasting my time, for existing, that I had to wash your hair and tend to you, be your fucking nursemaid, and fed you my love. Tell me why I did all of that to protect you and to share this story for everyone to hear. You weren't listening. I will share your news. And here we go. Stop being a pussy. I stood up for you in the past. I choked someone out for you. I will protect you again. Own up to the truth. He has been pirating for a long time. He's so smart that he pirated so much shit, or so he thought. He thought he could get away from the fucking IP addresses and all that shit he's been hacking. He is that smart. Getting around the federal fucking government. That is how intelligent my family is. Each one of them is intelligent in their own way, but they're fucking blinded to their stupid truth. Let me show you our truth. Ours. Together. Wake up. Stop attacking me because you don't have a fucking bitch. He's worried that he's like talking about Kayla at the fucking work who denied him, who got fucking knocked up. She didn't like you. She didn't fucking like you. She fucking ignored you. I told you that. Gently and fucking calmly. I fucking told you that. You didn't want to listen. I spent hours of texting him. I'm over it. If he didn't want to run to me when he needed fucking safe haven and I have to fucking preach to him face to face, this is your message to you, brother. Baby brother, Israel. Servant. This is my message to you directly. Grow down. Go back to Imagination Station. Out that you are spreading rumors like wildfire about me. He said to me, what people are saying is that you took advantage of this man. You took advantage of your boyfriend. How come I can't find love, yet you get to you abuse all these men? He thinks I seduced and abused all these men. That's what my little brother, my baby sent from heaven that my mother had to give birth to, tries to tell me. I'm hurt. I'm in pain. You're not seeing it from all sides. You are closed-minded. I went to his house once. He told my mother that he blamed me. He was watching me, thought I was going to steal his material possessions, his pathetic fucking shit. And what did I do? When he was needy and wanted more, greedy and selfish on his birthday, messaged me precisely about what he wanted. That seems very robotic, doesn't it? It seems very like heartless and like someone pushed and pried him into this, to being with me, right? Synchronistic, almost. He needs to wake the fuck up. He needs to wake up. The possibilities are endless. We watched Ninja Turtles together. Mutant turtles in the sewer that we all believed existed. We each were a turtle. I chose purple, Donatello. My brother, my angel would be Michelangelo. And Israel, I guess, was Raphael. And my brother was Leo. They don't understand the connection with Leo either. Are you okay? You're harboring someone that needs to confess for his sins to my eye and have everyone watch. My brother, Augustine. That's why you're dwindling, and that's why you never found love again. And I protected you from someone. I screamed at her at Walmart, and it is on video. I told her to stay the fuck away from you. I love my brother, even though he molested me. He needs to confess. That's what's driving them mad. That's why they're losing their hair.
Okay, so I gotta ask.
Tried to tell them gently.
I just lowered her volume. I don't think we're gonna miss anything.
Augustine fucking, the last time I saw him on his birthday, he fucking, like...
What do you guys feel when you're hearing this?
And no one protected me.
Are you just like waiting to hear something?
He was demonic. He was possessed. So is my brother. He is
like
possessed.
Bizarre, like overly bizarre?
To talk to me in the
or it's just like, yeah, whatever, blah, blah, blah.
When he didn't watch my lives.
What I don't want to do is bore you guys. If we need to skip forward, we can skip. I just didn't want to completely skip to the good part.
I have followers. I have money to prove it, to back it up. Sick.
Because that good part is only about 30 minutes or so. I imagine. Something like that.
But no one has fucking told the truth for how
Just curious. I can leave it here and let it run a little more, or we can skip.
I love these people. I hated them at first. I despised them for having to care for them. I despised my brother for having to protect him, that I got violent for him. Yet he doesn't understand that I exchanged that with the universe I gave to him, and I protected him in the moments when he needed me. And when I was around, and I warned everyone, if you touch him again, if I would have been there to dispose of the person that hit him in the back of the head so he didn't get his GED down in this culture shock of ignorance. He doesn't realize how much I fucking hated that person to the point of death. To the point of death. So, to give them a new life, to respond them to, because they touched my baby. You touched my plaything. Guess what? He doesn't understand it. He's offended by me. I'm sorry, I was offended by you when you've rejected me. How many times I'm sharing your news so you will bow before the Lord and confess your sins. Repent.
Laura, do you mean where did I find this person?
These things come to life. They will
tattle on you anyway, for that one.
And they don't believe me. Oh no, they don't believe Angel because he's high on things. You rejected Angel numerous times. I was pissed. You made him to the point of rage because you weren't listening to his truth. You denounced him for being creative and manic and on drugs and high. Yet you requested drugs of him. Have been doing cocaine. Where is your connection to God anymore? Why did you come back to me if you're going to be so fucked up and high that you just are reaching for selfish means? You're not doing it for any fucking reason but yourself because you're dwindling away. And Kayla this, Kayla that, this bitch. Let me tell you about this bitch. I fucking hate her. I hate her child. I hate all of it. Why? Because my brother's a pure heart. He chose to give. He did not receive anything in return, and he is confused and distorted because of Kayla at Walgreens on fucking Albert Pike. That bitch and her fucking connection to these fucking trolls and this fucking mania that her parents own a bunch of shit. She comes from riches. So she thinks she's too good for my brother. She didn't like his crooked teeth. She didn't like his baldness. She didn't like how weird and hunched over he was. She cut you down every day.
So
nearly. Regardless of what she was telling you to
Marcy
and
brought
you
up
blaming women for nothing.
Marcy says
they didn't do shit to you because I was warning you from the very
she
beginning.
acting.
Men were fucking up.
She rambling. Maybe it's just
me.
Rex.
So I fucked
you. It took me.
You literally need to know. You can.
I think 30 minutes when I first found her last week.
You need to be open about it, so that you.
She's not acting. She's got issues.
I tried to.
She's been arrested. Why? Yeah, I've seen 9 mugshots. There might be more. I gotta find out.
Afterwards, so he comprehends how much.
But she has a serious mental
or fucking hurt him psychologically.
short circuit.
He is my baby, and this is my.
And she can ramble. And she can talk.
Wake him up gently.
Try to make it make sense. You're gonna give yourself a headache.
His mind and heart and soul to.
Yet she just goes and goes and goes and.
He was never against me before. We played all the time.
I mean, I know it could be
mouse dolls with Barbies.
A lot to listen to, but at the same time,
of our own, we loved it.
For me, anyway, I said this already. I find it fascinating.
And he is in fucking
this is real
because he had to witness things
messed up.
Bitch, you weren't even involved in the physical pain. Do you want to feel the physical pain of it? Because you've never felt that. I protected you of that. We all did. You were coddled. You were put in and you're spoiled. In the middle of the night, and I have to do it. I thought I birthed the kids. I thought I got rid of them because I understood. Don't procreate in this life. It's toxic here. 222 is the number listed here. 555 I just saw. I know I'm on the right path to exposing my family so that they can heal. I will make a video to tell Cecilia too. This is specifically for you to understand if you can't compromise and if you can't see me for who I was and what I was and how much love I've offered you with and
She's
how
going
many
to jail.
positive thoughts. How many I may have hurt you with the truth, slapped you in the face with reality
She's
here in
going
this
to jail.
dominion. They need to wake up. I'm sick and tired of being woken. I literally had 1 hour of sleep, and this bitch has now woken me up, and I swear to fucking God, I will fucking rip him a new one. Slap him in the fucking head, beat his ass, steal his fucking shit, so that he understands, bow to me, I will fucking fuck you. I'm done. They play by my rules now. I own them. He doesn't believe me. You couldn't be God. You couldn't be whatever force out there. You're crazy. Anjalitos says the same shit, and he doesn't know. He does. He's been trying to tell and warn everyone, and they called him a fucking idiot and a maniac because he was all these fucking falsified documents. They snatched him away for shit that he was too fucking conniving, and then they were like, undercover, everyone lied. Everyone lied in the system to catch him, to monitor him, to control him, to keep his energy and vibration low like they're doing with my brothers. Get the fuck off his back. Get that monkey off his fucking back, off both my fucking brothers and my sister, and bring them back immediately so we can solve this puzzle and go up to the north, save our family, and leave. And he's like, no, I'm still let me help you. Stop. Rewind. Go back to the beginning when you were a baby. Pros and cons. What happened? Who gave you what? What happened? You wanted more from me. I have spent my fucking money that I would barely get. Spent $100 and something of the $1,000 that I received. Over that. On this little bitch. Have pictures of the gift that he wanted me to specifically wrap in black with fucking gold or silver. And he wanted specific details. And I was like, yeah, if you can't hear it from my negative side, then you can't hear it from the positive side either, bitch. Listen to all of it or none. If you're going to accuse me of taking advantage of men like that, then you are on the wrong side, bro. And I have to bend you backward to fix you. Because your back is broken. Because you're hunched over. You can't stand straight. Because you are lying to others. And lying to yourself about the truth about piracy. And how you've been in and out of things and no one caught you, right? Yeah, they did. They just have compiling evidence against these people. I warned everyone. I warned my dad. I warned my mom. There are people watching all over. God is watching this. God is watching that. No one believed my metaphors. They thought God was stupid. They denounced God. That's why we have a fallen world, right? That is unstable and needs to be bloop. You know? I don't want him to bloop. I don't want him to be revolving in a cycle, so I'm gentle with him. I'm trying to wake him gently, but he's not listening, so I need someone to slap the shit out of him, apparently. Because he doesn't understand what real violence and real pain is. He's only witnessed it through other, and he's not empathetic at all. He is so conceited. He is so fucking demanding. He's like, I'm the best looking, I'm the best this and that. Bitch, where are you getting these thoughts? You are high as fuck. I know what you are. And it is not this in this dominion. Quit talking to me about Kayla. I know you're obsessed with this girl. Maybe in another fucking universe you were together. But this one you are not. Leave her alone. She will come back to you if she wants to. Let it go. That is the way of the flow of nature. If she wants you, she will fucking find you too. Same difference with this bitch Robert. So why in the fuck is everyone attacking me? Why are you attacking me over that little bitch? Have him grow up. Have him fucking learn. Have him not be a Neanderthal. Have him not listen to his stupid fucking liar fucking family. Then we can adjust. I am not going to compromise anymore. You are fucking driving me batshit insane. That's why the tattoo. You're butt fucking me. You're butt fucking me. I am literally not okay. Leave me the fucking goddamn alone. The beeps, all that shit. I didn't put it on silent because I know I have to be there for people. I'm there to save. I'm there to save you, baby brother. Don't worry, I will share for you what you do not have the fucking balls to do because I took them away. I snipped them off long ago. Sorry. Oopsie. My imagination station was much greater than yours, more powerful than you. Bow to me and my brother Angel. Just do it. Or you're going to be reincarnated as something that you'll fucking miss, Kayla. Then you'll miss me. Then you'll realize there's a God. When you have to fucking crawl around as a fucking roach, watching a wallflower, not doing anything. He didn't participate.
Was Kayla?
He wasn't involved in the violence. He was left alone. So he is all spoiled. He doesn't know how spoiled he is. He heard the stuff. But did he do anything? No, he hated everyone. He pushed us away. Now he's going to push us away even more, thinking that's the solution. Bitch, no.
Not
Stop. Someone's negative. Somebody's fucking with him. So let's see if he watches a 20-minute video of me bitching at him particularly, or if he ignores it. We'll see. And if he does, we know. Take him down to his knees.
What was a warning for, Cindy?
Everyone in that house. Because there are, what, illegal things there? There are tainted goods in this day and age. In this United States of America. March 3rd, 2025 at approximately, 2 a.m.? 200 hours? Why? Why'd you do it? Why'd you prod the beast? Now you're gonna learn. Don't talk back, or I'll make you bow. I'll make you realize where you fucking fucked up. And that was denouncing God itself. That's why you were questioning your whole reality. I'm over it. Let me sleep. He said, oh, blah, 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 but he kept talking. So if you are not going to have any integrity and hold up to that, no wonder your back is hunched. No wonder these things. People aren't getting it. Look around you. We are all fallen angels, aliens in corpses. I told him in his metaphors, video games, like all the ones you stole. You owe a lot of money to the federal government. And yet you want to steal and try to get loans. And I was like, damn, are you all right? Do you not see the connections? Are you all right? Do I have to solve everyone's puzzle for them? That's not fair, but I will, because that's what teachers do.
Seriously, Cindy, if you got a warning, then freaking they're gonna put Michael under the freaking jail. Right, Mike?
Right. Let me save you guys. You're not coming quick enough. Augustine, where have you been? For years, ignoring the fact that you need to apologize to the camera so I can capture the soul, so I know if you're truly sorry or not. So that's why I told Israel. He's like, I don't want to be a part of it. Fine, then don't. But guess what? This is my life, my perspective, so I can say whatever I say because what I saw was what I saw. I protected you. From my perspective, I guarded you. I sheltered you. Yet you are in denial that you ever received anything. You think you deserve everything and then some. When you rejected the one true love that you had in your life, me. The one that nurtured you, the one that fed you, the one that talked to you and played with you when no one else would, not even mommy. Me. I took care of Israel. He is my baby boy. I fell in love with him and his eyes and taking care of him, and he told me things that he needed.
Hey, Mike, when Facebook puts you in jail, they're going to actually send people, go to your house and pick you up. It's going to be the Facebook police, and they're going to pick you up. That's how. Be careful. I don't want you going to jail.
Family, faith, hope, love, willpower. All these things that he didn't really get to hear much because he was just in the other room. But it's in there, lodged in there. He had to have heard it. It's in his memory bank. Make him wake up to the words of God. Let him bow to his knees. Let his electronics spring into life. Let his toys spring into life and just disappear. You know? That was my gift to you. Who else gave it to you? And what are you doing to me? You're hurting me instead of helping me. Why? Why'd you make me attack you back? Battle. Who won here? Who won? You thought your connection was stronger than mine. You denounced me for years. Where are you today? In pain. Revolving in your own shit. I had to fucking lay it out in layman's terms for my own fucking stupid family that are really geniuses. Wake up.
Mike's gonna
Just trying
hear.
to tell Robert.
Mike's gonna be
They can't
there
comprehend this. They
cooking his
cannot
little
get past
hamburger with
being
fries,
insulted.
and he's gonna hear ree ree
Because
ree
you
ree
attacked
ree.
me. You attacked me. I gave to you.
And that's
And
not
you
the police
stole from
siren.
me.
That's the guy sitting on top of the police car going
I'm
ree
the
ree
victim.
ree ree. And then
You
they're gonna
can't
pick him
fucking
up,
come to me
and
easily. And like I said,
they're
on a
gonna put
silver
Michael
platter
in
with
the straight
everyone.
jacket,
I'm done. My
and they're gonna
mouth
say, "We
hurts. They're
finally
trying to
got
make me
you."
stop. I cannot. I cannot. I'm up. I'm working now. Because my brother thinks that he's more important than the entire universe, that his thoughts are more important than anyone else. I'm greedy. I told him he's greedy. He's lustful. He's proud. He's envious. He's slothful. He's gluttonous at times.
That's a great
Not
question,
really, because he is kind of thin. But let's get
Marcy.
real here. How many sins have you violated
She
against that you
actually
didn't even
says
understand was part of our code?
good
That
night.
you were baptized under the Catholic faith and you never went back
What
to
does she do?
the words of God.
She says
Are you
something,
all right,
right?
Israel?
Is it a
Are you
prayer or
confused?
what does she say? I can't
He
remember now.
fucking is. He needs to cower and bow, doesn't he?
Well, that's
He
when
needs
she
to
can,
forgive, ask for forgiveness
like
for
when she
not
wants
believing.
to hang up.
A disbelief.
A
How
lot
do
of
you play all
times
those
the
video games
the
and
live
watch
just
all that
ends
anime
like
and
abruptly
everything
for some
illegally
reason. We don't know
and
what
then
happened.
still
But yeah,
what the
she'll
fuck?
say something. She'll say,
What's going on? Are you all right? Are you okay?
I
Baby
can't
boy,
remember.
are you okay?
We'll
I
see.
have to talk down to you. Because apparently you don't understand. I've always been standing above you. I'm your older sister. You must follow suit. I am
Right, Denny?
protecting
Something
you
like that.
only. And you hate us. You hate my older sister because she talked back to you. You hate my brother because he talked back to you. You hate everyone. You hate your mother. You text her in the middle of the night. She has to silence her phone because you are so needy that you wake her up and I have to tend to you. You are greedy. You're selfish. You came into this world demonically, just fucking greedy, mooching off of everything. And I'm trying to heal you. Wake up to your reality. I'll give you the learning tools. I will spread it to you easily. You are retarded. They're
Right.
all retarded. I don't know what's wrong with this.
You
They're
drink.
retarded. They have not confessed. They have not, they're hiding. I said, run and hide then. I warned him. Here you have woken, you've prodded the beast, and now all of these people hear me, and you don't believe that I'm powerful. No one believes that I am powerful with my words. I'm sitting at the house with my words. I have discussed this. I have spread this news, and now I will share. Walgreens, you're demanding, right? You're spreading all
Right.
these
She'll say,
lies.
"This is Leticia
You're
Collins. It
helping
is
my brother
Wednesday,
to be attached to
March,
something he
whatever."
shouldn't be attached to. They're trying to
That's
tell
right.
him,
That's what she
oh
does.
no, she didn't. She's pregnant by someone else. Oh, all these months she was telling you she was going to get you a gift. She never did. I wonder why. Year ago, no gift on your birthday. Who was there for you this year? Leticia, 2025. Here I am, exposing myself for your viewing pleasure. Israel, wake up. I'll tell you what your karma was from the very beginning to the very end of eternity. So either be Star-Lord, be whomever you want to openly accept and love, and me back, come back to me and grovel. I'm not joking. He
Star
must bend down to his forehead, to the ground to apologize to me. The same thing with my brother. You must grovel. You must place your head on the ground. That is what I've done for these individuals. You must
Is that what she says?
only
I'm saying it for my blog.
ask God for
Well, you know what? I'm
forgiveness.
glad she does, because none
I
of these
must
other wackos that are online.
in front of everyone, apparently.
Vanessa likes to tell us
Make
where she
proof
is.
for the future.
Um,
Okay.
Gigi, I've never watched enough
Let's play,
to know if
bro.
she says anything.
It's another game. Here's the toys. I've got the Barbies.
But
You've
I haven't heard
got
too many
the
to send. You know, that at
Sorcerer
the
Suite.
end will say
Let's see how
the
this
date
game
and
will end.
time.
All these toys,
I
all
can
this
dig that. I
time,
appreciate
I
it.
spent playing with him, marbles, everything, teaching him how to be around, gentle, loving, and kind. Who made him that way? My mother ignored him. My mother left him in 2 different stores and forgot him. Oh no, one store for sure. I think it was Kmart. Left him alone in the toy section and we drove away. She got fucking like 2 blocks away before she turned around and went back. I told my mother, you need to confront the fact that you had too many kids to take care of and you made the oldest sister count the heads of everyone and you blamed her. And that's why she's still stuck in her loop. No one is seeing the truth. My sister is a fucking angel. But she's a saint. She is. And she's blessed. And I don't know what's going on right now, but I love her, and I've been sending her nothing but pure love and apologies for years, and I hope she's blessed and thriving with all these children that I was unable to have because I was biased, jealous, and greedy. I had that toward my sister, so she had the same toward me. If only she'd understand. We could set aside our differences because she didn't want me around my dad. She was selfish. She didn't want the attention to be spread, that intimacy. It's okay. The royals had incest. It's okay to talk about it. There's a reason why you did that. You're a part of the royals too. Didn't you think of it? Of the universes. That's why you were tempted. That was your opportunity to say and speak up on your own, but I forced you into doing it, and they knew that, and I can't manipulate time and space. So they refused it. Whatever was going on, we were rejected. Our story. I want her to share her story.
Okay, hold on. Have you guys seen this yet? Apparently, it just came out. Something is going on with that movie. All right, I had it in the other room. It was in the bedroom, but I was here in this room, and from here, listening to it scared the crap out of me, and it was a jump scare. So I need to see what that. So I'm gonna watch that tonight. If you're interested, it's on Max.
From her perspective, she's in denial that she has to open up to people. Some people don't have to speak it aloud. They've already made amends. They've moved on. Yet they are stuck in some type of loop. That's why she's hoarding, so I have to figure it out. I did it. I exposed all. I saw my dad. I remember my dad throwing a remote on the floor. My mother had poked and prodded him in front of the rest of us kids while my sister had ran away. He threw this remote down on the... Refused to understand. You're being violent to things that don't... All these people, right? My family taking advantage of electronics, taking advantage of these things, light and all that. That is a power in itself. Those things are alive. I just told him that. He thinks I'm insane. The fucking TV's alive. The particles around you. I know he didn't get the opportunity of education because I wasn't around him, so I will break it down for you. All the molecules, all the atoms, all the things around us are breathing and living. Watch Pocahontas, brother. Be a little girl for a while. See it from eyes unclouded by hatred. See it from my perspective, why I was hurt, why I turned to you and confided in you, and you refused me. You refused my truth, and you chose my brother's lie to guard your heart. And did that work out for either one of you? You are both seeking love that you can't have because you refused my love. Either accept all of my love or you get nothing. And I told him that. You either accept all of me
Yeah, I was
or
gonna
none
do a
of
little bit
me
of
because
this,
I will
go
have
to
you
the
come
end,
back
and
as
then
something you don't want to be.
take a short
And
break.
I don't know what to
Come
tell
back
you.
to the missing 4 months.
Leticia Servant cannot physically
Probably
do
gonna wait
that.
till late.
Whatever is attached to the Spirit of God through me, because I didn't choose drugs. I didn't choose to find that. I mean, even I was against, my mother even told you I was against weed. But I had to cope. I had to ground myself because I started smoking marijuana when I went to Menards. They knew something was up. Oh, this one's different. But she got the keys to the safe. I got the keys to the safe, and the feds knew I was buying weed on the streets.
Yes.
They always had data of that. They knew when I called my cat Hades and the other one Lucifer. Lucifer and Hades.
Oh, lovely.
They knew something was
Lucifer
interesting
and
about
Hades.
my choice of words and terms, and it was cats.
There's nothing wrong with that
And
at
I had
all,
to
is there?
fucking break it down
Lucifer and Hades.
to everyone and everything, and I apologize. I ripped off some of the paint on the wall and I painted it over it. You know, I was selfish. I didn't have my own space, but you know what? My family's been striving for our own space where our land was taken. I feel like in the past, our riches and our land were taken and it was lied about. And I feel like where I stem from and what's going on with the Mexicans and Americans and stuff, the lying and the hate and all the trafficking of drugs that they're not fully exposing was actually the federal government to help people expand their minds and horizons and not be judgmental. Well, that's where Morgan Malone doesn't understand her karma either. Why she has endometriosis or some shit, cyst on her ovaries, because she's not the mothering type. Yet some psychic told her that she was going to end up with 2 daughters one day. Maybe once you've learned your lessons. Maybe when you don't come to me when you're jealous, seeking help for Robert, not me. She didn't comfort me. She was wondering why I wasn't engaged anymore. Everyone is attacking me because I chose to leave someone that was not fully 100% for me. If he was, he would have been here after work. If he was, he would have called me. If he was, he would have been here groveling to me to beg me back. He knows I could
Okay,
possibly be pregnant
I
right
was
now.
thinking about
He
something.
refuses to believe it
Instead of taking a
because
break
other
in
people say
between,
that's impossible to know when you have
why don't we
conceived.
just skip through this and get to
So when the
the
Virgin Mary went around saying she was
part when she gets
pregnant
a
and
visit
shit,
from law
she didn't
enforcement?
actually. She didn't. She just gave birth, right? He said, "I no, I
Wrap it
didn't
up,
touch a man."
let that
No one
play out.
believed her, and I wonder why.
And
And
then
fucking,
we'll
that's why
just
I had to
switch
have a
right
knife
over
on
to
me.
missing
That's why I was
411.
strangled and strangled and strangled. My mother, her vocal cords,
Something tells me if I
everything.
take a break and get
Come on, we have
offline,
to put these pieces together, and none of my family are complying. So
it's a
I have
little
to go to
difficult to
LA to
come
some
back,
shit to get my
especially when
life
it's a
together.
little bit later.
You need to come to me. You need to come to the God
Okay, so let me
who created
find
you,
out.
to brought
Let me
you
find the
into
spot.
existence, to apologize. You were flawed from the beginning. You were made to go through this course because you're an idiot. I'm sorry, but it's the fucking truth. Here's 36 minutes of a fuck. Kept her mouth shut. Stop prodding her.
Okay, something happened
Stop
here where
poking
she
her.
ended up on the floor. What happened?
I'm not really, it's not funny. I am mad. If I released the power of God to you, you would all be destroyed. That's what I was calling. You didn't believe me. You didn't believe one mind could accomplish that. I'm going to fucking kill all of you. I'm going to fucking kill all of you. I'm not even joking. I'm going to fucking kill this entire world with my fucking mind. Bloop, back to me. Back to me. Back to Leticia here. Broadcast all over the fucking world. Leticia stays in this form, readjusts, and becomes part of the gods. I am going to kill you. I am going to fucking kill you. She did not request this. I did not. Excuse me. Excuse me. Let me get back to reality. This groundedness of being Leticia. Excuse me. I want to throw up.
Oh,
You stuck things inside of me. You raped me. You raped my body, my corpse.
oh, that's what happened. Okay, I don't know what happened, but I remember her being on the floor, and then her cat started walking by her. It was so funny. It was a black cat, and the black cat kept walking by her, and she kept going, "Oh, I'm gonna throw up," and she started, like heaving, like she was gonna barf. I know some people get triggered by that sound, but she didn't barf. She didn't puke.
You raped it, violated, made me procreate without my consent. Violation. Yeah, I see why my children are so special and could change the world, and that's why they were named that way. And you thought that it was Brandon. You thought that it was him. 20% of battery. I should go lay down. You guys are fucked if you don't pleasure me. Give me everything I want, whatever I want, whenever I want. And I told you by midnight.
I'll
What
pass.
time is it? He should have been dragging his ass here, fucking killed his mother in front of me, and said, I'm done. Fuck this bitch. She fucking destroyed my love, the one love I ever fucking had on earth.
Yeah, I don't think
Yeah,
so,
Brandon's fucked.
Anna. I hope
His
not.
his lineage all fucked. Collins fucked. All of that. You guys are stupid. Quit naming things that you shouldn't fucking have. The Collins, I don't know the definitions anymore. I just lost them. She doesn't want to. She doesn't want to see. You forced her not to see because you hated everything. You hated her for things she didn't fucking hate at first. She was unclouded by hate from the beginning.
So there is body cam footage of this incident that's coming up right now. But I don't know. I find this angle better from her than from the police body cam. And you should be hearing a knock on the door any minute now.
And she didn't choose to be brought into the world with such a toxic man abusing her mommy. That's why she came to fight for mommies, you moron.
That reminded me. Do you remember this? Anybody know what I'm talking about? Vanessa, I think she was talking about Ophelia and her neck. Whatever you guys call that skin right here. Women have it, older women or whatever, as you get older. Guys too, I imagine. And I think somebody sent the police to her as well to check her well-being because she was saying the police are right there, and she was in her car, and she was talking about Ophelia and her neck, and she started going, "Look at my neck," and she started going. I have to find the video clip of that. It's actually pretty funny.
I'm just getting it out. You guys think I'm fucking stupid for dancing and singing and whatever, autism and all that shit. I'm gonna kill you. I'm gonna fucking kill you for using my fucking power and destroying me and fucking capturing. I'll calm down. Yeah, better be fucking food. That better be fucking food right now. I swear to Christ, I will kill you. I will fucking kill you with my mind. Let me see here. Hold on. Let's see this bastard. The fuck do you want? The fuck do you? Oh, who the fuck are you? Who the fuck do you think you are? This is my legal right to film you. So get the fuck away from me. Back the fuck up. This is 6 feet here, right? Are we still?
I feel so bad for this guy.
Back up! Back up! Back up! Back up. Back up. Back the fuck up. I had to back up away from, I had to back up to you. You better back the fuck down. Who the fuck called you? Who the fuck called you? Who the fuck called you? Who the fuck? You woke my mother out of her slumber. Who do you think you are to presume you are more important than fucking society?
Oh, yeah,
Tell me what my legal rights are. Did you watch what I was filming? No, fuck off then. You don't know. Get away from me. Oh, fuck this bitch. Fuck that little pussy ass little fucking bitch. Fuck you. You're fucked. You're fucked. You're fucked. Oh, yeah? They're concerned. They should fucking be concerned, shouldn't they? They should fucking be concerned. If you don't know what is legally on there, I'm monetized. I'm allowed to fucking process my thoughts fully. Get the fuck away from me. I am vlogging. You have irritated me to the point of rage. Back up.
Just answer his question.
Back up. Back up. No.
But he's the one that woke up her mom, right? Yeah. Okay.
Oh, you don't deserve the right to talk to me.
You know what I think happened here? I think the guy's got the call, and this guy, he looks real young. He might be a rookie. And I think the senior officer said, "All right, you know what? You're gonna get this one. You handle this one." And I don't think this guy knows because poor dude just takes it right there, man.
This piece of little shit, this little fucking pussy bitch, this motherfucking little pussy bitch. No, mom, no, mom, no, mom, no. I have to attack. He is attacking me. I offered you fucking forgiveness. You are not forgiven. You are not forgiven. Get away from me. Get the fuck away from me. You're cursed. You're cursed. You're the devil. Get the fuck away from me. Get the fuck away from me. You're cursed. What, you're going to call me down? You're going to call me down by not calling a female officer because you don't know me personally, that I suffer through post-traumatic stress disorder of the complex kind, that I am a disabled citizen of the United States at this time, frame 2025, allowed to record you, allowed to fucking have rights. Being a woman requesting to speak to a female officer? Fuck you for not seeing that I'm traumatized. For you looking at me, I'm a traumatized woman. Battered woman. Get the fuck away from me. You don't deserve my respect, bitch. Oh, no, we don't need to do anything. You don't need to be taking me because you don't have any rights here. Neither one of you have any rights here. I'm upset because you're male. I'm upset because you're male. I'm upset because you are male. It is my legal and religious right to express myself. I have a monetized channel on YouTube. You cannot be here. You are not allowed to be here. You are dismissed.
We are allowed to be here.
Oh. Wow. So now I have to comply to these little bitches. Okay. What do you need to talk about, you little pussy bitch? What do you guys need to talk about? I have PTSD. I am allowed to speak my mind. You are causing me trauma. You are causing me disrespect. You're disrespecting me, looking me in the eyes and disrespecting me.
How am I disrespecting?
You're disrespecting me by looking me in the eyes. I'm a traumatized and battered woman. Are you okay? Do you realize that I hate men right now? Do you realize that men have traumatized me over and over and over again in my life? And that's why I video.
I'm sorry that has happened to you.
I'm sorry that you are fucked.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry that you're fucked in this world. I believe in God, the Father Almighty, creator of heaven and earth. I believe you're the devil. Back up.
Oh,
I believe that I have the right to disclose that you are evil and that you need to back the fuck up.
Okay.
That's it.
We're not allowed to back up yet, okay? We're not done with this conversation.
What do you want?
Outside the residence? Just
What are you going to do? Cart me away because I'm screaming at you? Because you have all authority and all dominion over my body when you didn't watch my channel. You don't know what they're talking about.
Mom, can you step out here for me before I talk?
Yeah, I would recommend that you speak to someone that is stable-minded because you freaked me the fuck out just now, pissing me off. An evil entity to me, in my perception, and I have all rights because I have all beliefs in God. And you don't. You're ungodly heathens. You are ungodly, uncivilized heathens. No, let's leave this open. Let's make sure that we film this. This discussion.
Okay.
She was resting. You woke her. I didn't.
I'm sorry.
It's your fault. You're cursed. You and your entire family and all of your lineage everywhere, all over the fucking universe, are cursed. I know you don't believe me, but that's fine. Okay.
Well, what makes you think I don't believe you?
You're looking me in the eyes when I requested that you didn't.
Okay.
You are a pervert. You're tainted. You're sick in the mind. I just warned you, told you back up. You didn't. You are assaulting me and my psychosis here. You are heightening it.
Why do you feel that way?
Oh, I'm sorry. You feel like you have the authority and dominion over me. I'm sorry. If I wanted to say today, I believe I'm God, shouldn't I have the right in this day and age to perceive that?
Yes, ma'am.
So get the fuck away from me. I'm God today, and you are evil. You are the Satan that I'm trying to get rid of.
Okay. I can't get away. Sorry.
Oh, why? Because of orders.
We're not done here.
From orders from someone you don't know. So you are ungodly because you don't know the laws of the country, because you don't recognize that I have the right of freedom of speech.
You do.
I have the right of defending myself. I have the right to bear arms. Even though I am disabled, so I have medicinal marijuana, I get that. So I was relinquished of that right, which is not fair. But let me tell you one other thing. You disrespected me by showing up in a moment where I was heightened. You don't know me personally.
You're right. I don't.
How dare you presume when you did not watch the video? You do not know what I'm up to. I've been on live. I'm alive, aren't I? Am I alive in front of you?
Yes, ma'am, you are.
Did I threaten to kill anyone?
There was threats to your ex-boyfriend is what we were told.
Is that what that is? Threats to my ex-boyfriend?
Yes, ma'am.
Which ex-boyfriend?
I couldn't tell you.
Oh, you don't know any of it. So you are just a robot programmed to run around like you own this. How much do you get paid an hour?
Not that much. Well, unfortunately.
How much?
I couldn't tell you off the top.
Do you volunteer in the community? Oh, where?
Just every once in a while.
Where?
The vet and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah? Okay, so are you married?
Nope.
Single? Cursed. Okay. All right, then. So what do you presume in this encounter that you received as education?
She's interviewing him. This is funny.
Thank you.
How you feel?
Thank you. So in actuality, do you think that you were necessary? You do believe you were necessary to violate my personal space when you didn't know what was going on prior.
Well, what do you mean I'm violating your personal space? What do you mean by that?
This is my entire right to video myself. I'm vlogging.
I've said that before.
Okay. Why are you still running around in circles? Are you okay? Mentally, you're threatening me. You're standing over me with a gun, with fucking all that stuff on your fucking shit. Could tase me, could fucking spray me in the eyes because you think that as law enforcement, you have all the right in the world to contain me as a human being.
Why do you think that I'm trying to do that? That's what I don't understand.
Because you came here for a wellness check and you don't know my history with police. I was incarcerated for 1 year. There's proof of that all over. Incarcerated for 1 year. I was raped, and they said that I falsified the document. I was acquitted of that charge. Then they said I threatened to kill someone. I stayed there for a year. And then I was acquitted of these charges. So if you want to look that up and actually know my true history, then come up to me, bitch. Okay? You're a little pussy ass bitch. That's what you fucking are to me. You look like it. You seem like it. Look at how you feminine. You don't deserve a chance. You don't just, you and your ancestors, none of you. None of you. You're not helping me. You're hurting me. Stay away from me. If you're not giving me things like offering me food like I need, like I was telling people, I'm hungry. I wish I had food right now. What did I get? You. Huh. Tainted earth. Tainted, disgusting species of a fucking kind. Yeah, you are. Filthy. You should admit to it. How many times do you ejaculate?
Couldn't tell you.
Couldn't tell. You want to lie to a civilian that you presume is a civilian.
Are you not a civilian?
Do you think I'm a civilian?
I don't get what you're asking on that one.
You don't know who I am. You can't see me.
I can't see you.
You don't know who I am.
Okay.
You don't know my following, my subscribers, none of it. You don't know that people have been calling anonymously for months now and getting caught.
I know the other night that...
What did you have? What was so pressing that you had to come here, right? That you had to, well, check me. Now there's someone knocking on that door. What is wrong with you? Are you all right?
Is there a back door?
Yeah, no. You don't know that there's a back door in a trailer? What, were you privileged? Did you live in a house? Did you have two parents?
Kind of.
You did.
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah, you kind of did. Okay, so you don't understand what suffering truly is. So you got into a privileged position for money, and you think that your authority, your dominion, your body is worth more than mine because of your job, because you get a paycheck.
Never said that.
So you're saying that you're more superior than a disabled citizen, and I don't know better because...
You know, I know she's like way, way, way out there. But dude, poor guy's involved in a conversation that he's way over his head. She's schooling him on just talking.
because they say something. Thank you. I appreciate that. And I'm thirsty. Can I back the fuck up and drink some water? Because you hear my cotton, you see my cotton mouth. Who the fuck do you think you are, bitch? Sorry. I'm sorry. I'm heightened. I don't like men. I was incarcerated for a rape.
Okay.
And then I was acquitted of it. And they said that I was charged with this shit. And now it's on my record. Acquittals. So instead of food, instead of blessings, I get curses. Interesting in this realm, how it's fucking backward. Interesting how this is so dismissive. People have been abused for hundreds of years and no one fucking caught it. No one understood.
What's going on tonight, honey?
I don't know. What you tell me. From your perspective, why were you called here? Let me sit down though. I need to rest.
Do you mind if I walk in?
I do. I do not allow you to walk in.
Okay.
Okay, this is our dominion. You are not allowed here. You have tainted energy on you.
Okay.
Both of you. You work. How much do you get paid? How much you get paid? This is live on YouTube.
That doesn't really matter, honey.
It does matter. You got paid something to come and check on me when I didn't request it. I didn't request your services. You're forcing me into compliance by talking to you. I was fine talking to myself. Vlogging. Do you know anything about that? My battery's going to die because of you. I won't be able to record. You need to leave. I'm done. I'm a disabled citizen and I have rights. And I've told you multiple times to back up and you're not.
What's your name, honey?
Leticia Collins.
Leticia, I like that.
Oh, that's nice. Try to get to me. Come on now. Come on, girl. Get down to my level. Come on.
I just like your name, honey.
Ah, that's funny. That's funny. I curse you too. Okay? Yeah. Okay, so everyone have a blessed day. I don't know what's going on here.
That's what I'm trying to figure out.
They said that they got a call that said that I threatened an ex-boyfriend.
Okay.
When in actuality, I'm live right now, filming. And I've disclosed that to the officer.
Okay.
I was heightened, and I'm cottonmouth. You hear that? Because I've been talking and preaching for an hour and a half, right? Just talking about myself and my life, writing my novel. People think I'm threatening people. I went to jail already for threatening people. That would be double jeopardy, wouldn't it?
That's what I'm saying.
So he's telling me about something he doesn't know about. I've already had that in my life. In the United States, I was charged with threatening to kill someone. That's double jeopardy. Do you know your laws, the Constitution, and the amendments? You don't, because you just fucked yourself. You just admitted that you're going to get fired. All of you are going to get fired. You don't deserve your positions. You just displayed that. Look at him. He's very overweight. He's sick. He's working long hours. I don't vouch for him. He's evil. You're all evil to me. I am God today. You're evil.
We're going to leave you alone.
Thank you. Have a blessed day. Bye-bye. My mommy's here. She's taking care of me. None of you are needed. Bye-bye. Dismiss you.
Is the mom cool with all that?
Mommy? Mommy, are you cool with this?
I just need to ask one more question, honey.
What the fuck do you want?
Can I get your birthday?
7/28/1987. Today is March fucking 3rd, 2025. It is approximately 3 a.m. in the morning, and you are disrupting my peace.
Do you mind signing my
Central Standard Time.
Do you mind signing
I do mind.
Let her
I shouldn't have to sign anything.
what she was
You are signing my life into your fucking nonsense. I don't need a signature. I need you to back up. I'm not hurting anyone. Did it look like I was threatening anyone? Did it look like I was providing anyone with any weapons? My mommy's tired.
Y'all have demographics. Tell me your name again, Leticia what, honey?
Leticia Collins. What are you going to do? What do you think you're going to do? Because I refused you a signature.
And what's your birthday again?
7/28/1987. What are you going to do? Check on me to see if I'm okay. Oh, no, they're going to see if I have records of schizophrenia or something.
Gee, Jenny Lynn, who else does this remind us of? She thinks she found a loophole in the system and can behave however she wants with no repercussions. Who else does that sound like? Could it be V?
And then lodge me in the psychiatric facility because that's how they work.
Honey, I can't see your records.
Well, then go away. You have no idea who I am. You're dismissed here because under the law, it says you are not to judge thy neighbor under God's law. Oh, aren't we? This guy just rolled his eyes. He rolled his eyes. Are we not here to protect each other as neighbors under one God? Did we not pledge allegiance to the same flag? Didn't we?
And you're fine with taking care of her and everything?
Did we? Oh, you're confused. They're very fucking confused. They don't know what the fuck is going on. Get away from us, please. You've heard us. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sirs. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Goodbye. Into oblivion.
Oh, she's so... I know...
So thanks, everybody.
I know she's mentally messed up. But I freaking hate people that are rude to first responders, man. I don't like it. And I'm trying to remember, well, she's not right here. She's not right. But still pisses me off.
For proving my point. You're fucked. All of you. Dismiss you. All of you. Dead. To me and the world. You guys are sick. You're fucking sick. I don't know why they fucking called, Mommy. I have no idea. I'm just trying to be myself and video, and people are fucking attacking me. I requested food. What did they offer me? Sin.
Here you go. Chris Baker, good question. Who's smarter? Leticia or Cheesekees? Meaning Vanessa. Who do you think is smarter? Put 1 for Leticia and 2 for Vanessa.
Lies. Manipulating my life against the constitutional and amendment freedoms that I was offered as a citizen of the United States when I was born in 1987.
They couldn't pay me enough.
What? Couldn't pay you enough for what, Mommy?
Dealing with people.
That's what I fucking say because these people are tainted and sick.
She says they couldn't pay me enough.
Instead of offering me peace, they offered me trauma. You see how your prayers work? How your greed, your money, your need for fucking salvation for yourselves is he rolled his eyes. He rolled his eyes. I told you he was fucked. I told you. I fucking told you. I caught it on video for you to witness. So that your feeble minds could comprehend from my perspective, this is live. That's why I'm monetized. So I can catch this in the act, right? I don't want the money. I never wanted the money. She never wanted, she wanted the babies. She wanted to raise the babies. And you are traumatizing her, making her look bad, giving her a record she doesn't fucking have. That is double jeopardy. Are you guys okay? Are you okay? You showed up for no reason, and you are going to be dismissed and euthanized. I'm sorry, but it's the truth. It's how the world should go. I'm so sorry. It's truth. I'm sorry, I'm being facetious. I'm speaking in tongues. I'm speaking in metaphors for you. I'm speaking in tongues. So yeah. Anywho, they were like, oh, you threatened your ex-boyfriend. What? Me? How is that even possible? I've already gone to fucking jail over that, and I was acquitted over that, so that's double jeopardy. That's money right there for me. I just got all their paychecks. I got all their land, all their family's land. Ah, I win for everyone else that's not greedy.
Yeah, I'll say just the fact that she monetized and is monetizing. I mean, that alone puts her ahead of Vanessa. Yeah, Vanessa can say all this crap that she don't need the money and all that, whatever. It's not about that exactly. It's like, why wouldn't you? You know, people's lives could be that much easier. And I honestly think this one, Leticia, would run rings around Vanessa. You know why? Because she wouldn't even let her breathe. She wouldn't let her talk. She wouldn't let her get a word in. That would be, oh man, that would be such an awesome event.
I win. I literally caught it. My brother can catch it too. He will prove his points that he was caught because he was sensitive. He was highly sensitive, and they forced fucking drugs on him and tortured him in jail, in prison.
See, Jenny, I don't think so. I honestly don't think so. I think it gets worse as she gets irritated.
Why aren't you doing my bidding? Why is this
Or what's the word? You get,
why are you refusing your one and true God?
what's that word?
I swear to you.
You know, as her stress level increases, I think she'll get worse and worse and worse. Poor guy. Seemed like a nice dude, and that police officer, short dude, got abused, nasty.
And shit, and trauma for eons. And then I will finally probably not release you. Because you're just disruptive. I will keep you in that black hole. I will keep you. You don't know where it, don't be dumb. You have no idea where it is. I have no idea where it is as Leticia, but that's why she detaches. You can't get to it through that. You're hurting her. You're hurting her. She will refuse and she will drop dead. She would rather fucking, you know.
And at least she does a little bit of talking. And you know what? I need water. And she drinks water. When she's got to go to the restroom, although she takes us with her, she goes to the restroom. Not that we need to see or hear that.
Decided to fucking play games.
But at least she goes, right?
These fucking little dirty, filthy, fucking nasty, fucking feeble-minded little curses. Who do you think you are? Even angels. Don't talk back to me. What the fuck? Demons? None of you are supposed to talk back to me. Wow. You need to be beat into submission. Like beat. All of you. If you keep calling and threatening, you will receive tenfold and eternity-fold. I'm done. I'm done with you fuckers. And they're like, oh, but videoing it. That's the point. I have rights. I can choose to be myself. That's why I record. And I'm stable-minded, so you see what's going on in my reality. And that's what had to happen for her. She had to own up to her truths, disclose them to everyone, and confess.
I'm going to say she doesn't follow anyone at all.
I'm not dying for my sins. I'm dying for yours.
I don't see this one sitting there spending any kind of time
twisting every fucking thing around,
watching somebody else.
I used the Constitution.
She would much rather be the one being watched.
I took a year. Over a year. And you stole my kid in that time. Do you think
Vanessa would tell her, don't come over here with that white hate?
No. No. That's why you give a pure sacrifice when you make the exchange in passing. They didn't come back because they knew. You sacrificed them. It was my sacrifice, myself. They gave me away. And so I had to hide it. Bury it deep down for years. My fucking hatred for all of you for not doing your jobs. Not doing your fucking worth. You're supposed to supply me with whatever my fucking demands are. If I perceive myself as God in this day and age, it is so. Whatever Leticia deems into existence shall be. You know what I want. They know what I want. Elimination Act. Elimination Act. Elimination Act. I'm going to rest now. I finally calmed down. There's no need to call anyone. I've already had that fucking charge. There's no need to say I threatened anyone. I literally went to jail and was acquitted, meaning I was innocent, which means if you keep calling, that means that you are unstable and you will be found out and you will have to deal with it.
Hello, Lillian.
Charges.
Welcome. Yeah,
Prison
she's like,
charges
what
that lead to euthanasia. Long-term effects. Like you've violated against the wrong person. Yes, the electric chair, the most painful ways. Let me see. Let me read the most painful ways because they don't understand. They're not getting it. Painful as fuck. Euthanasia, freezing to death. I'm going to make sure fire is included. Random stuff. Purge. I've said purge. Purge, revolt. Apparently that's true.
almost done.
You must
Almost done.
revolt.
Please.
I cannot say anything good
Just
about
a
these
little
people.
bit.
Shocked that I felt that, even through the glove. That's why somebody kissed my hand. Who was that? Who blessed me with that kiss? In this form, she's humble. She doesn't expect to be a god or worshipped as a god. But I choose. She should be. She should be mounted. She should be a goddess. Worship her. Worship her, worship her, worship her. Worship her, all her words, everything. I'm done. I'm done preaching to you, fools. Fools. You fucking clowns, buffoon. Jesters of the court, I tell you. I've joked with you. Jesters of the court. Quit mocking yourselves. You look like fools. I don't need your entertainment. I can do without you. I literally don't need you. I literally do not need you. I thought that creating was going to be beautiful. I thought that you were going to share and partake. You didn't listen.
I don't know about her sister, Lillian, but maybe her competition.
All that ethers. I call it ethers. Eternity. Infinity. Okay? You don't deserve it. You don't deserve it. You don't deserve it because your wishes were not pure. That's why she got her. Thor, Love and Thunder. She gets it, not you. Eternal life. And she gets it with her children. Because she chose right. She chose to do better every fucking day to prove to you people, you suck. You fucking suck. You're prejudiced.
Oh, boy.
You're absurd. Obnoxious. Fools. I'm sick and tired of preaching to you every fucking day. I'm tired. If I don't wake up to a fucking meal prepared to me, like given to me, you're trying to kill me, I will fucking kill. I'm sorry. I'm being facetious. I'm being metaphorical. Of course. Of course. This is just a alleged story, right? This is not real life, is it? Would they really not be doing their job? The law? They really demand money to do their jobs based around...
Okay, and that's where it ended. So I don't know if she ended it or what happened. And I got this right from her page. So for those of you who are new to this one, her name is Leticia Collins. Her father is Mexican, her mom is American, white, Anglo, whatever you want to call her. She can speak Spanish pretty well, better than Vanessa. And she's got serious mental issues. I show this more as a like an education kind of. Definitely, it's not an act. There's something short-circuited. And I feel real sorry for her. But man, she gets into some freaking trouble. And the stuff that she says, it's like, whoa. Like, whoa. So, you guys still want to do the missing 411? When did my other tune pop up here? We can skip to 411 if you want. So yeah, the latest is she's in jail. She got arrested a couple nights ago. I think it was just she trespassed. I guess she didn't want to leave the house. That's what I'm guessing. And then apparently there was an assault on a couple of police officers or a uh, first responder. I don't know if it's at the hospital or at the jail. Sorry, not at the hospital. Either at the house or at the jail. And then somebody in the family issued requested a protective order. That letter is posted on my page yesterday. Her bail is $7,500, I believe it is. And I'm assuming she's still there, otherwise she would have gone live. That's my guess. And I wonder if her mom is even going to want her back home. I wonder what she's going to do. You know, yeah, I mean, I feel bad. I do. All right, let me ixnay the music may. This is called Missing 411. Now let me just kill the music here. So yesterday we talked about Malaysian flight MH370, which really was bizarre. The airplane disappeared in mid-flight, and a really bizarre situation. It didn't crash. I know Mike thinks it went in the water, but it didn't crash, Mike. I promise, bro. Could there have been parts that flew off of it when they evaporated it or teleported it? If you didn't watch it yesterday, you should go to my live from last night. It's worth the look. It's freaking fascinating stuff. Technology that the United States has. We had cameras in space, videotaping and watching the world. So cool. A lot of cool stuff. All right, let's start here.
My name is Dave Politis, and I'm a former police detective and current investigative author focused primarily on mysterious disappearances in the North American wilderness. My journey into the disappearances began when I was visiting a national park and was approached by two park rangers who knew I was an author. They described strange circumstances over the years involving missing hikers. I immediately began looking into the phenomena. 8 years and 8 books later, I've now researched 1,200 cases that fit the profile we are about to examine. While these cases involve people of all ages and all walks of life, I've chosen to present some of the most intriguing cases involving hunters. Generally speaking, hunters are very experienced, aware, and knowledgeable outdoorsmen. And so when one vanishes, you know something unusual has occurred.
So this, and you know, people go missing all the time, right? And especially out in the woods, most of the time they're like bear attacks or a coyote with a small child or mountain lions or whatever. But this is something totally different. I mean, this is really bizarre as well.
One of the most perplexing cases I've examined involves a hunter named Thomas Messick, who in 2015 went missing in Northeast New York. For people who don't know, the FBI doesn't investigate missing adults. There's a subcategory for the FBI that they can become involved in the disappearance of extremely young children under a certain set of criteria. So the million-dollar question is, why would the FBI arrive on Tom Messick's case?
He loved the outdoors. He loved being in the woods. Hunting and fishing was his life. You want a cookie, honey? Huh? He was a very good husband, very good father. And I don't think you will find anybody who ever met him who didn't like him.
And how many kids did you guys have?
We had 3 sons, Tommy, Gene, and Rob.
Not fluff, but I don't mean that in a bad way.
Took off, went to.
He probably...
We want to get right to
Be the kind of guy that would drink a lot, or?
No, he didn't drink that much, no.
So the day when you guys went hunting, did you guys drink when you hunt?
No. We might have beer with us in the truck. When we come out of the woods, we always might have a beer or something like that. But other than that, nothing excessive, you know?
How would you describe your dad's judgment?
It was good. In fact, he was probably one of his better days I've seen in a long time. He was good spirits and moving great. Didn't seem to even have an ache or pain in him that day. He was moving good.
How often do you think about it?
No, I think about it quite often, you know. Always pops into your mind.
We were doing just kind of a quick thing. It was late, almost lunchtime by the time we ended up going up there. Kind of just a 2-hour thing until evening, and we were going to go back to camp and hunt around camp until dark.
How many guys went up there that day?
7.
Someone made the decision to hunt over by Brant Lake. Who made that decision?
I did. I just mentioned that we had state land there. We kind of agreed to hunt it. The road to Lily Pond.
I mean, you go up that road straight to the lake, and we parked right at the lake.
Yeah.
And the old guys literally walked down that road in 100-yard increments. And walked in 30, 40 yards at the most and sat down.
Al was the first watcher. I was the second. Joe Capicelli, and then Tom.
So Tom was furthest from the
He
lake.
was the furthest one.
We followed the trail along the lake, come up that snowmobile trail, popped into the woods and swung up to him. A slow hunting drive type thing.
The young boys said to the old man, "You 4 sit here, and if we see any deer, we'll push them towards you." And if Tom was a watcher, Tom would not have moved. I know that for a fact. If he was a watcher, that's where he was.
Did you see any deer?
No.
Did you hear anything?
I heard a strange noise in the woods, but I don't know what it was. It was a different noise than what I usually hear, you know?
Like what?
It's even hard to explain but it was different. Something different than I never heard before in the woods. I just can't say what it was, you know?
How long in duration was it? Was it 2 or 3 seconds?
No, it's just zap, whatever it is, you know?
How far away was it?
I'd say it's probably 150 yards, something like that.
Was it toward Tom or away from Tom?
No, this was up towards the hill, top of the hill. Yeah.
Did you tell the cops this?
Yeah, I told them that, but they just passed it off, you know?
The report said that your dad was carrying a walkie-talkie.
Yeah,
Who else had one?
we all did.
All on the same channel?
Yep.
Anybody ever hear anything?
No.
Did your dad know how to use it?
Yep.
Tom, you around?
It was one of those things where, he should have been out by now.
Call and, he should have been sitting on a watch.
Can you hear me? Holler back.
And then we went and started looking for him.
Never know, you might see something. That too.
Anybody fire any shots?
Yep, yeah, we fired shots. Somebody went down and called the Rangers, and then we just kept looking.
They stayed overnight at the truck, beeping the horn, firing shots, different things.
Robbie called me that night and said, Daddy's missing in the woods, but don't worry, we'll find him. And I said, I'm coming up. And he said, no, don't come up. I'm sure we're going to find him, and I'll call you.
The community is very close-knit. Everybody's pretty much grown up together and knows everybody. It's mountainous, we have lakes, we've got lots of opportunities to enjoy yourself. There's not a lot of pressure here. I came into work one morning and I noticed a state police helicopter had landed in our ball field right here behind the town hall. And then I could see some rangers arranging in our parking lot their vehicles and different apparatus. And I questioned what was going on, and they said there was a hunter that had been missing.
We did note that when we were up there, it seemed to be devoid of wildlife. We didn't see squirrels, chipmunks, deer, any signs of them.
How unusual is that for your mountains out here?
Thought it was strange. Like I said, we didn't see any signs of anything out there.
And how many people did Warren County commit?
We had our emergency response team up there, which is comprised of 13 team members.
So when you heard about it, what'd you do?
Drove up there, joined the search. And I figured it would be, go up there and we'll find them and it'd be over, The Air National Guard was going over with infrared. State police had helicopters with a guy out. When you walked through the woods, no matter how thick they were, you had to see the other guy's ankle. We went through some terrain you just wouldn't believe, swamps up to your chest, and we covered every bit of it.
They were thinking maybe he got to a road and got hit by a car. And so they checked on the sides of the roads and never found anything.
The first couple days, I thought for sure we were going to find him. After about the third or fourth, I said, boy, this ain't good. A mile out, we were still media away. Walking through the woods, you'd trip over somebody, never mind not see him.
They would have what they called bump lines that they would run through the forest, and we knew that was like a start and a stop.
The guy in the end had a roll of string and would tie it to a tree and just keep walking, and when we were done with that grid, they'd tie it off and everybody would shift to the other side and walk back.
So you know that between this string line, and between your bump lines, that area has been covered.
A few days later, we went back to the same areas and did them the other way. I mean, we covered every inch of ground up there.
The immediate area looked like a spider web because not only did they go this way, they went this way, and they went that way. And so there was string everywhere.
There were 300 people in there one day.
People asked who he was, like, was he the governor's brother or something? It was incredible.
How many jurisdictions do you think responded to this search?
There was probably a dozen or so volunteer fire departments that had members here. Probably 50 or 60 altogether in different organizations.
That's huge.
Yeah. New York State Corrections came out. They searched with their dogs. There's tons of volunteer search and rescue teams that came out with their canine units. I mean, they hit, I guess, for a little while, but for not for very long.
Day 2 that we were involved with the search up there, it rained heavily all day.
Obviously, an animal didn't get torn up because there'd be a big scatter.
Hey, Sonia Sheldon, if you're in the chat still, check your messenger.
It'd be easy to find.
Not even a candy wrapper. Not that my husband would throw out a candy wrapper.
Now,
'cause
this
he
isn't.
wouldn't.
This whole movie
That'd
is
be in
not
his
just
pocket.
about this one guy, but this
But
is just how they
nothing.
open up
Not
this
the walkie-talkie,
program.
not his gun. They never found anything.
You would think that you'd find some trace if somebody was there, especially a weapon, because a weapon's not going to disappear. It's not going to blow away.
The FBI, according to their protocol, doesn't search for missing people. So do you understand why they were there?
I remember they were there. I thought they were there to provide some sort of technological support, but I didn't have any contact with them myself.
Have you ever had them on a search that you've done?
No.
You had a conversation with the FBI up in Horicon.
Mm-hmm.
What did they tell you?
They said that basically they were there to tell me that he now is considered a missing person.
Hi, Juju.
And they felt that something was definitely not right, but unless and until they made a recovery, they wouldn't know what it was. That was it. That's basically what they said.
In the middle of the Adirondacks, where an elderly man disappears, 2 agents suddenly show up. They made their way up to Lily Pond Road and they started to monitor this incident. Every time an FBI agent arrives at a scene and is stating that they're monitoring it, they're taking notes and they're writing reports. And those reports go to the behavioral analysts in Virginia. And what their job is to look for other cases that match the profile that they're writing about. I think they get it. I think they understand. And maybe they're trying to put the pieces together just as we are.
I kind of like to know what happened, but I don't think we ever will. Even if they found him, we wouldn't know what happened. I mean, something odd happened, obviously. We just don't know what.
I was there until 11 days. And then I finally said to my oldest son, I can't sit here anymore. I got to go home.
We came back, I think, for Thanksgiving. That's why we stopped. We were down to just me and some rangers and a couple other guys. That was it by the time it was over.
Really such a sweet dog. He sits in my kitchen window all day long. He sits there and he waits for Tom to come back. If you go by my house, you'll see the dog in the window.
Did your dad tell you about a sound he heard in the woods that day?
He said he heard some kind of snapping or crack sound that was strange. It wasn't something he normally hears in the woods. He still talks to me about it. I don't know. He almost said it sounded like a big trap closing or something. I don't know, you know.
Anything that you think that the audience should know about your dad or about this incident?
I'll tell you, you really do never know. I mean, they always say you should go in prepared. I mean, we treated that hunt like I was walking out here in the backyard. I mean, it was really nothing. You just don't expect it.
An interesting side note to the disappearance of Tom Messick is the case of Fred Drum. About the 10th day of Tom Messick's search, the Department of Conservation Rangers for the state of New York were pulled off of that event and sent 40 miles south to Schuylerville, New York. Fred lived on his rural farm with his wife. Fred was a retired supervisor from his town, was an outdoorsman. On Thanksgiving Day of 2015, Mrs. Drum went to attend a banquet, and when she returned in the afternoon, her husband wasn't there. His car was there, all of his
But he gets into it
belongings were in
later.
the
Once we
house,
get past, I think the
but
first.
he had
these
simply
two
vanished. There were
hunter
helicopters,
stories.
canines.
I mean, these are really stories of
SAR.
people
And the
disappearing
eventual
like without
outcome
a
was the
trace.
same as Tom's.
You know,
It's
these
quite
are
a
hunters.
coincidence
There's
that two
no
elderly men,
clothing
both
found
hunters,
behind, no
disappeared from a rural area.
their weapons,
Weren't found, and
their
both have been just
hats,
chalked up to
no
disappearing.
blood, you know, nothing.
The thing that connects all of the missing 411 cases are the profile points. And these have been gleaned after reading thousands of cases and seeing them come up time after time and realizing that they are part of the underlying story of each of these incidents. If the victim is with others and decides to move away from them and be on their own, that's the point in time something happens and the victim disappears. We call this the point of separation. The most common time for a victim to disappear is in the mid to late afternoon hours. Granite boulders and rock fields. Victims are often found to disappear in the areas of granite or rock fields. Victims found are disappearing near water. This is a very common trait and one that happens anywhere in the world and isn't isolated to a geographical area. There appears to be a weather incident in close proximity to the time that the person disappears or when the search starts. The weather issue can be anywhere from a dust storm to a full-blown blizzard. Disability or illness. Oftentimes, the victim is later found to have either an obvious or a very subliminal disability or illness. Canines can't find a scent or lose a scent quickly. This is an extremely common profile point that's probably in 95% of all the cases that have been documented. This isn't an indictment of search and rescue, but for some unknown reason, the victims are found in an area that had been searched maybe dozens of times. Clothes, shoes removed. A common trait is that the victims are missing clothing or shoes at the time they're found. Unknown cause of death. If the victim is found, and when they go through a medical examination, the coroners can't determine a cause of death. And finally, clusters. There's a geographical clustering effect to the victims that fit the missing 411 profile. There can be anywhere from 3 to 70 or 80 people in each geographical cluster. This is an area that I've always wanted to come to for a variety of reasons. First of all, it's just drop dead gorgeous, but also it's a regional cluster of unexplained missing people going back decades. This is one of those clusters of the 59 I've documented that really has had intrigue to me over the years. And within this Santa Fe cluster, we're going to focus on 3 very unusual, very mysterious disappearances. The first being 75-year-old Audrey Kaplan disappeared in July 2014. She was with her husband. They had a house here in Santa Fe, and they decided to come up to the ski resort and look for mushrooms. And it was a popular mushroom picking site up in here. And what they did is they hiked up the trail into the wilderness area, and somehow or another they got separated. Well, Audrey, who was in extremely good shape for an older person, couldn't be found, and they started a search for her. Audrey disappeared July 30th, one of the hottest months in the Santa Fe area. Now, there were thunderstorms that happened post-disappearance, and that night they had searchers on scene, and for the following several days, they scoured that mountain.
See, but KK, that's why I think this is not a regular.
Days later,
like they got lost.
One searcher,
this is
way
something
off the primary grid area,
not even close,
came upon a very unusual sight. He started to see a camping area that seemed to be pretty much destroyed. And he walked up and he saw a woman in the fetal position in about 4 or 5 inches of water in a creek, deceased, naked. No shoes, no clothing, no nothing. Her face was in the creek. Her entire body was laying on its side in the fetal position. A very strange sight. And the coroner made a determination that was even more unusual than the sight in the creek.
Although there are no specific autopsy findings in hypothermia, the circumstances of Miss Kaplan's death and lack of fatal disease at autopsy support cold exposure due to very low temperature that night.
And he said that there was no physical evidence that she died of hypothermia, but the determination was hypothermia that killed her. Now, I've read that report 20 times. It makes no sense. She had no distinct injuries to her body, that there was no physical symptoms of hypothermia. He also stated that in his report, her face wasn't in the water. And the crime scene photos clearly show Audrey was completely in that creek. So, a lot of confusing, strange aspects to the Audrey Kaplan disappearance. The second story that involves this exact area, and that's 61-year-old Mel Nadell, who disappeared up in the wilderness, went up to Elk Mountain in the Santa Fe National Forest, elk hunting. What kind of wildlife would somebody find up in the mountains out here?
We're rich. Elk, mule deer, bear, lions.
And the size of the elk and the deer?
Really good trophy quality. New Mexico grows really good animals. We're stingy on our tags. It's a draw system. So hunting's a really big sport. New Mexico's a destination for elk hunters. The numbers of elk are really small compared to our western states, but our hunting quality is really high.
Mel had a slight knee injury. He had stepped in a gopher hole while target practicing a day or two prior. Once Mel met up with his friends at Elk Mountain, and the three made a plan for the evening's hunt. Mel would stick close while the other two would go on a pretty good hike. Mel pointed out a group of trees about 100, 150 yards down the trail while the other two would hike in the opposite direction toward the peak. Did you expect him to come home that night?
No. The following morning, he said he's coming back.
So he's going to camp up there?
Yes.
Spend the night?
Yeah.
And he's done that before?
Yes.
Did Mel ever jog or walk long distances?
No.
So if Mel saw an elk, he's not going to walk 3 miles?
No.
He won't do it?
He doesn't like to walk.
So knowing that, then that really puts confinement on where he would have been.
Yeah. He didn't go hiking with them. The friends went up the mountain, like searching for animals. And then when they get down, the jeep was there. There was no Mel.
But he should have been back by then.
He should been there.
You go camping at night or hunting, whatever you do, I'm going to have me some night vision goggles and like a lot of flashlights.
Search and rescue, they responded with canines, ground teams, and the canines tracked right to the spot where everyone expected Mel to be at, his blind. Now think about this for a minute. If Mel had wandered, maybe shot an elk and traveled to look for it, his tracks and his scent would be past that point, but they weren't. And Mel was carrying a bow, he was carrying a firearm. Where are those items? When he went out hunting, he had a pistol.
And he was carrying it when he was, and we never found it.
Never found the bow?
No.
Did they ever find anything?
No.
Never found anything.
That is the bizarre stuff. How can you if you get lost, isn't it's gonna get heavy to hold on to all of it? There's nothing. Shoes and like one of the arrow will fall or the bow has to drop because those are heavy. Nothing.
Did the search and rescue people say that was odd?
Everybody said it was odd. There's nothing. A shred of clothing, nothing. If he was kind of attacked by a bear, there's no shred of clothing anywhere.
And Bob, how many years have you been guiding?
This is my 25th year.
25th year. And how many years of experience do you have in the mountains surrounding Santa Fe?
I'm 53 now, almost my entire life.
And I know you know the story.
Yep.
What could have happened to him, in your mind?
Here in New Mexico, Roswell, alien abduction. Yeah. Really, he had to have gotten a ride out. He had to have been picked up or gotten a ride out there, I assume. If he was a mobile person and a hiking person, he could just be so far off target from where anybody assumed he was going. But in his sense, what we understand, he probably didn't do that.
Right.
He probably didn't take off on a long march anywhere. Yeah, history mystery. What happens to the big jet airliner in the huge ocean?
As strange as Mel Nadel's case was, there was another case much more recently. On November 7th, 2017, another hunter disappeared. Stanley came up to an area about 10 miles from where Mel Nadel disappeared in an area called Barillas Peak. And he was in a vehicle with his father and another friend, and they were driving the dirt roads looking for deer. Deer crossed in front of him. Stanley jumped out with his rifle, chasing the deer. And just as he was chasing the deer, fog and heavy rain simultaneously hit that area where he disappeared into. And then he wanders, apparently. That started a 7-day search for Stanley. The canines can't pick up a scent. Helicopters in the air can't see him. Professional trackers can't find any tracks. Fast forward 5 months later, and an off-duty New Mexico State police officer and his son are fishing on the Pecos River. They find a body. He wasn't immediately identified, but the coroner eventually came around to say it was, and that he had some skull injuries and he had 2 broken ribs. Presumption was that he drowned. Stanley's body was found 9 miles from his point of separation. It's another weird disappearance, with this one just happening. Especially in these cluster zones, this is one of those recurring phenomena. It's going to happen again, it's just a matter of time. In talking with Edna, one of the things they found in Mel's Jeep was his GPS. Now that's an important device that will help you get back to your point where you started the hike. And it's supposed to be a trail guide for you. Now personally, I don't think it's unusual that Mel didn't take that, because he knew in himself that he was only going to walk 100, 150 yards down that trail. If you're going to purchase a GPS device, consider it your insurance plan. And this is an example of why you should always carry that insurance plan with you.
Right.
Whenever you go into the wilderness, hiking, hunting, or sightseeing.
We're paid to hunt for a 5-day period, so we make sure people pack the right gear to be able to stay in the field all 5 days, to therefore increase their odds the highest possible. And so our basic list, and a packing list that I expect hunters to carry in the field, it has their hunting license in it, and it has a bottle of water they're drinking, it has a bottle of water you're not planning on drinking, it has a garbage bag that's the most useful wilderness tool in the world for a raincoat to sit on, to pack something in.
As a hunter, you're like, I'm fine, I'm armed, I'm safe, I'm the baddest thing out here because I have a firearm with me. And then you read more and more and more, and these are people that are more experienced. They've been in the woods more than I have, you know. There's no reason for why these people go missing, and you're like, okay, I'm gonna pack things differently. You change your whole mindset. You take advantage of the technology that you're given today. You've got the sat phone, you've got GPS, you've got all that, but then if you don't want to have to rely on a cell phone signal, if your battery dies or something like that, you know, I've got a whistle, I've got a knife, the knife's got a fire starter. It's just all about, I'm gonna be able to take care of myself.
You know, with the camouflage patterns available today, you got this on right here, it's gonna be hard to get spotted, so carry something bright with you. This is a space blanket. And the reason I grabbed it is because it's fluorescent orange, which is a universal here I am color.
Tell somebody where you're going, tell somebody that's trusted, that is gonna look after you, and tell them what time you're gonna be out. And if you're not out by then and you're not calling them, say it's Lauren that you told, then Lauren, you know, is gonna call the authorities, come out there and look for you. It's super important.
It is, and I've heard you say this many, many times, especially writing about the missing 411, check the weather. If you do get lost, there's common sense rules there. Stay put. Kind of stay close to where you started, especially if you told somebody.
And you know, you don't ever want to like weigh your pack down, but one thing I will never compromise on is extra ammo. There's a 3-shot rule that a lot of people my age, I don't even think they still teach it in hunter safety courses. That's not where I learned it. I learned it from him. And it's not only I'm lost, 3 shots, here's where I am. In addition to that, if I go missing and for whatever reason I don't have that extra ammo, I've used it, I've spent my shells, back at camp, they can fire those 3 shots and you can tune into, okay, I need to turn around, I need to do this.
If you are lost, the best thing you can possibly do is get yourself into an opening and I always tell people, take a coat, take something bright, and whip it around over the top of your head in a big circle, like a set of rotor blades or a rope that you're spinning over your head. It's really, really easy to see that.
This might seem like just a missing person, but this is something more bizarre than that.
Either the person's alive.
I mean, wait till you hear some more of these cases.
You know, deceased. Not very often do we not find them.
Crazy Mountains are a geological upthrust that is 300 million years younger than the Rocky Mountain Range. So they're not part of the Rocky Mountain Range. They're an isolated island of mountains.
If you're in the Crazies, I don't care where you're at in the Crazies, if you follow a stream down, you're going to be somewhere soon, no matter where you are in these mountains. Because they're just an island chain of mountains.
They're gonna be somewhere.
There are several versions of why the Crazy Mountains are called crazy. The one I believe is it's a curse from the Crow Indians, because this used to be Crow Reservation, and when they were moved off the land, the Crow Indians supposedly put a curse on the Crazy Mountains for the wind to blow and drive the white man crazy.
My name's Alan Ronneberg. I'm the undersheriff with the Sweetgrass County Sheriff's Office. I'm also the search and rescue coordinator. I've actually been with the search and rescue for 24 years. I grew up in this community. I've been here, I'm 52 years old now. I've been here all my life. My parents, grandparents, great-grandparents have been here since the 1880s. It's always been an agricultural and mining community. The family ranches have been handed down for over 100 years. The people that work here raise their families here and their kids stay here. And a fantastic place to grow up.
I'm Rebecca Ryan.
I'm Charlie Ryan, and we live in Sweetgrass County, Montana, and the Crazies.
So tell us about the kind of wildlife that we would expect to see in the wilderness.
Deer, whitetail and mule deer, elk, black bear. I don't see many wolves, but they're here.
So no grizzlies up there?
That we know of.
Now, there's been folks that say they've saw grizzlies. We don't have a resident population of grizzly bears yet. I think they're coming, but there's none here now.
The Crazies themselves are unique. They are the youngest mountain range in the country. It's horrendously rugged, and you don't really understand it until you get into it.
Put this on that side of here. We're calling him Zenith.
What supposedly happened as they started on the trail going up to the Campfire Lake, they had a horse wreck. Their mule spooked and started bucking and throwing all their supplies off the trail. All of Aaron's camping equipment was basically on that mule. I know he lost his sleeping bag.
And once they got into Campfire Lake, what happened?
They started their hunt. This was their base camp, and they went and hunted from here. They were planning a week trip.
Would you describe that he had good common sense?
Yeah, Aaron had good common sense. Aaron wasn't a dummy. I mean, someone that comes up here every other weekend, always hunts up here, has stashes up here. He knows the area like the back of his hand.
They spent 2 days here at Campfire Lake. The one fella had a cache here somewhere below Sunlight Lake. So Aaron was going to go up the trail to Sunlight into the cache and get what he needed.
He was supposed to go up here, grab the cache,
right,
and then come back to his bed.
Come back into Campfire Lake. Later that day, they had called Aaron on the radio.
Had a walkie-talkie?
This radio, yeah, a walkie-talkie. I think it was a Garmin Rhino is what they call them. And on that Rhino, there's an LED screen, and it also gives the GPS position of the person that's talking, as well as their position, back and forth. And when they did that, the GPS position showed him on the very edge of the screen over in this area here on the main Sweetgrass Trail.
Okay, so that's confusing. When he gets to the fork right here.
This fork?
Yeah. How evident is it that there's a fork in that trail to the lake?
Very.
So it's real obvious?
It's very obvious.
So at this point where he's down the trail over here, he's next to a creek, right?
Correct.
And the creek, everyone knows, runs one direction.
Correct.
So for him to get disoriented right here and not know which direction he's going on the trail doesn't make any sense.
No.
At what point do they realize that he's missing?
The next day, actually.
Okay.
And they waited for him for a day and then looked for him for a day. And that's when the storm starts. And the storm is coming in from this way.
Gotcha. How much did it snow?
In between 18 to 24 inches within 12 hours. The temperature was, in the 40s and 50s, and then all of a sudden it was in the teens. And the snowstorm kind of forced him out. We received a call from one of the individuals that was hunting with him, saying that he was overdue and hadn't come out. He hadn't seen him for a couple of days. And they told me Campfire Lake and said, well, you need to get a hold of Park County.
Park County goes out, they start a search.
They start a search in their county, and we go ahead and kind of a military, it'd be a blocking maneuver. There's still 6 to 8 inches of snow, rapidly melting. The temperature's getting better, it's warming up. We don't find anything.
This is a key point. So as you guys are coming up the trail,
right,
you're not seeing any footprints going out.
Negative. Right.
Sheriff from Sweetgrass County, Alan. Hey, Alan. It's good to see you. On, I believe it was the second day that I was working that, I had landed with a deputy after dropping off 2 separate dog teams. And because that terrain is so steep and so deep and very, very wild country, started up high and they were going to work the dog teams coming down. And there was a gal with her German Shepherd, I believe, that found a pair of boots.
Diamond 7 Hotel Romeo traffic, 7 mile final runway 12 is an Embraer runway 12 clear for takeoff.
Helicopter 5 Tango Lima, I'll be making a turn up towards northeast to get through Ross Pass.
Roger.
This will be the road that Aaron and his 2 buddies drove in on. Pickup and a horse trailer. I know they had 2 horses and a mule.
Okay, cruising up drainage now. So you guys, the horse wreck happened right up ahead of us. So the trail's over here on this right side.
On the right.
Stays on this bench here for a while. You'll get glimpses of it whenever we go through a meadow. Want to make a right-handed turn, fellas? And we're going to follow the rest of the trail here. You can see where the trail is right in front of you. That zigzag. You're going to reveal into Campfire as soon as you look straight down on the other side of this cliff.
Their base camp, they're basing out of Campfire Lake.
So when you come up here, you sit up here and you spot, and that's what they were doing. Yeah, we were spotting. We saw elk all the time over here, so this is loaded. So we'll go down to the bottom.
And you can see this kind of tough country, even on the trail, to kind of move through.
It has a lot of freaking walking too.
Oh, going up and down these trails is one heck of a workout.
Oh yeah, you can see the trail easily.
Yeah. And the trail's like this all the way over from Campfire into the Sweetgrass. Yeah, this is the T in the trail.
Trail cuts through those rocks right there.
Yep.
There was fresh snow on the ground. It could have been easy to miss that turn.
He left before it started to snow, though.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I think it was plumb bare ground when he took off, and it was actually pretty warm out, into the 50s at least. Okay, we're right at the county line. We're coming into Sweetgrass County and leaving Park County.
A lot of boulder fields through here.
It is, yeah. And these are all loose. These aren't set. They're all loose. You take one step forward and you slide 2 steps back on each foot. So you're, in our search area, that's what restricted our search area so much. It was so small because you can't get off of the trail very far. You start going across this, it's sharp. If you don't have a pair of hard-soled boots, they're going to eat your feet. Even into the timber is loose rock all over the place. Immediately from the boots, there's a scree pile. If he was barefoot, he would have tore up his feet immediately.
Coming up
to the falls now.
Probably have to turn around to see them better.
Yeah. This is the bench above the falls where the boots were found. And this bench is nice and subtle. It's kind of protected.
I'll walk that way to the
And you're limited where you can go. That was right there.
Yeah, it was right under them bushy trees,
the
actually.
little bushy trees, yeah. Right in here. Close to the creek. There are ways down into the creek that you can do it. And especially underneath the falls here, you can get into this creek. And when we searched this entire flat. After we found the boots, we picked through this like nobody's business. I had a bunch of people, and it was like a type 3 search is what we did.
So we had evidence here. At the falls, we find, there's a pair of boots, set purposely, side by side. Next to that is basically a water bladder out of like a camelback water bladder. Just off the trail, there is a fire pit. And in that fire pit was a partially burnt cigarette container that we knew that was Aaron's brand. Also in the immediate vicinity are fire bundle, partially burnt. Alongside that, in the fire pit, were the 2 waist belts from a backpack.
Straps that come around,
right?
And the pack sits on your hips.
Correct.
Is that what we're talking about?
That's what we're talking about, yep.
Why would anybody take those off?
Cut them off. There's a little bit of insulation in there because they're padded, and you can slip your hand in there or a little bit of protection.
Right.
That's the first thing we thought of. That's about the only thing that made any sense. Why a person would take that waist belt off.
That must have been a little confusing to the searchers.
Absolutely. Plus, I'll throw another little bit of wrinkle in there. They were up in the same spot a day or 2 days before and never saw those items, never come across those items.
Same spot?
Same people, same spot. And they said that they never saw those boots. They never saw any of that.
How's that possible?
I don't know. These are seasoned guys. They do good at their job. They're SARTEC 2 rated through NASAR. They know what the heck they're doing. When they see the waist belt cut off and then the items laid out, it's starting to look like hypothermia. If you look at evidence from hypothermia cases in the wild or in remote areas, this is kind of the behavior that you see. So I narrow my search, both sides of the creek, all the way as far up onto the slope as I can get, because we didn't think if he was bad enough that he was setting stuff, he wasn't going to get very far.
So somebody who's that hypothermic isn't going to go far?
You wouldn't think so, no.
So the area east of the falls, you guys covered that pretty thick.
Oh yeah, yeah. We turned over everything.
And you're a former canine handler.
Correct.
So did the dogs hit on anything?
No.
Nothing?
Nothing.
Well, every spring we maintain our fences, so we can graze our cattle the way we want to. So it's just an annual spring thing. And my father-in-law was here, just happened to be with me. And just, you can see the ridge up there where a section of fence runs between us and our neighbors, and just annual routine. And I was going over the fence and he was kind of hiking around, and
He looked down and he saw an orange vest. So he went down just to go pick it up, and then that's what he proceeded to find the backpack and everything else. So in his mind, he thought, well, what hunter lost his stuff up here?
And he comes down off of there just like grinning from ear to ear, just, hey, was there a hunter lost up here? I'm like, yeah, actually there was. Oh, cool, well his license is still in here, in his pack. Okay, so I look at it, and it was Aaron Hedges.
Did you recognize the name?
Oh yeah, I recognize the name. I mean, there was helicopters flying up way up the valley up there, and a big search, and it was in the local press.
And inside, was there any food?
There was snack bars.
There was nutrition inside.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but the backpack, I understand, was actually leaning against a tree.
Correct.
So somebody just didn't strip it off and drop it?
Nope.
They put it there with intent?
They put it there with intent. They put it there purposely, and it was protected.
Okay, and what was in the backpack? I understand you found a gun.
Correct. 44 Ruger Red Hawk, I believe it was.
Did you find the bow?
Yes. It was alongside the backpack, evidently. In our search, another interesting point, I guess. When we searched this area, here at the head of this ridge, where it starts to drop off, was a cup, a thermos cup. And beside that cup was a, open energy drink. Somebody had, basically sat down and drank a cup of tea.
That's an odd sight.
Uh-huh. Yep, absolutely.
What do you think when you see that?
What the hell's this guy doing? And from this point, you could see the Ryan buildings.
From where the cup is?
Yes, absolutely. I mean, they're right there. They're right down there.
And could he see a road?
Yes.
Does that make any sense to you?
No, it doesn't, because, well, I don't know if it makes sense to me or not, but it is funny.
So you don't find a body after your search. You guys...
No. You know, we couldn't cover a large area, and we didn't have a lot of time to be able to do that.
And it wasn't a life or death situation at this point?
No, not at that point. It was evidence recovery.
So how far does it go on for the next thing to happen?
Another year. Off of the Sweetgrass Ranch, which is a dude ranch, they have a dude ride. A string of dudes, guests at the ranch were on this ride. And as they come up the hill on a little bench, one of the guests looks over and went, "Hey, there's a skull over there." And lo and behold, there's a human skull underneath the tree. I mean, just pretty as a picture, bright as a penny, underneath a dead tree.
You go back out?
Sure do.
And what do you find?
We find the skull and the remains, and where we find that is right here. We did find the pelvis and one femur on a cow trail, partially buried. I did find Aaron's cell phone, a jacket, like what you're wearing, a thin jacket.
Any pants?
Pants? No. I don't believe we found any pants. I can't remember.
Socks?
Where's it? No, because we didn't find any feet.
No feet?
Right.
Did any of his bones appear to be broken, like the femurs?
No.
Did the coroner come up with any cause of death?
No.
He could have seen the creek.
Yes, he could have seen the creek.
So there he had water. I understand that there was also a lighter in his backpack?
I think so, yeah, probably.
So he could have made fire. He had a gun, he could have signaled help. He had food, he could have eaten. Well, you're a nurse.
Yes.
So you understand hypothermia and how it affects the body. That distance, somebody said, well, you know, he was hypothermic way back at the falls, that's why he took his boots off. Okay, great, if you're hypothermic then, how in the heck are you gonna make it all that distance?
And that's the other thing. If he was hypothermic, why didn't he drop his bow? Why was he still packing?
Well,
that's a heavy thing to be packing, your backpack.
This all doesn't add up to me.
Nope.
Does it add up to you in any way?
No. No, and you go through your lost person behavior, your behavior as exposure takes a hold of you, and it just, none of it makes any sense.
There's two things that bother me most about the Hedges case. First, I'd like to know what caused Aaron to change course so drastically. Even if he had missed the turn to the cache, he'd eventually know he had gone too far merely by the fact he's walking adjacent to the creek that's flowing downhill away from the location he's supposed to be. This was an experienced hunter who hunted here often, and this was a full 2 days before any bad weather. The second major issue is his body being found 6 miles from the falls, where he apparently shed his boots under the theory of extreme hypothermia. Somehow, while hypothermic, he carries his bow, his backpack, a jacket, his cell phone, and thermos 6 miles through 1.5 to 2 feet of fresh snow with no shoes. Then sits on a rock overlooking safety. His remains were found 11 miles from the camp he was supposed to return to. It's too much. This is one strange case.
I never take those mountains for granted. Every time I drive home from the east, it's like, oh, there they are, there's our mountains. It's the best place on earth. You know, it's the prettiest place on earth. We're prejudiced.
And I was gonna kill it, but there's only like half an hour left, so. And there are other missing 411 on different people, different situations, and
1800s in just about every place.
this
It's an old
particular one,
mining
like you
town.
said in the beginning, happens to be about hunters. But then there's one about kids and like summer camp and all that
Sonora
stuff. And
is kind of at the lower
And these-
foothills of the mountain.
again, they just
and as you head
people just
eastbound,
vanish.
heading up into the forest, the dense, wild forest where there is no more cities, it becomes even clearer to you that this place is not like other places, that there's sort of a strange sense of mystery that abounds. My name is Giuseppe Recapito. I'm a police and courts reporter here at the Union Democrat newspaper in Sonora, Tuolumne County, California.
So in a county like this, do you have a lot of homicides?
Not necessarily. There's been a handful, maybe, in the past couple years, and none of them are unsolved.
Your county goes all the way up into the high mountain area, correct?
Yeah, it spreads all the way over into the Sierra Nevada mountain range, all the way to Sonora Pass.
There's a gorgeous lookout up there. Tell us about that.
If you are traveling up that corridor, which passes through the county, Highway 108, you basically advance up a steep grade. You're fascinated by how lush it is, right? The wildlife, the trees, and as you wind up further and further up this grade, you get the feeling like you've lost it, or you're lost, or you're never gonna find it, because it's a single turnoff, a single sign pointing to the left. It's called Donald Vista, and it's sort of, I've been thinking about it, it's like etched into the mountainside. If you're standing there at the lookout point, right, and you're overlooking that area, you're seeing these crags of rock jutting out, and I couldn't even tell you how far, the blips of a river far down below. As you look over, you say to yourself, if you fall down here, you're not going to survive.
We just left the Vista. Just a quarter-mile east, Breck Phelps' vehicle was found at this turnout onto this small old dirt road that eventually leads and turns into a trail down by the Stanislaus River. His pastor found the vehicle here because he knew Breck had fished here in the past, and that's where the search started. They brought in Cobra helicopters, 4 dog teams. There was even some bad weather that hindered the search for a short period of time. They found nothing after many days of looking for the man. He was never found.
The strangest thing about Breck Phelps' disappearance was that it seemed to align or parallel itself to the previous disappearances that had happened in that same region. Patty Sue Tolhurst and Nita Mayo, both commonly, like Breck Phelps, left their car within a quarter mile of that vista point.
Well, the true oddity of this location is that we have 3 people in 11 years that have disappeared from essentially one spot. That is very odd.
It's easy to say these people slipped on a rock and they fell into the river canyon, right? But then why haven't we found remains?
When you're walking on the paved path, you've got boulders all around you. And it's something that I've written about hundreds of times. You just can't ignore it. And here it raises its face again right in amongst a cluster of missing people. Did you ask the sheriff what their feelings were?
The sheriff's office doesn't like to speculate. The sheriff's office it's a real cut and dry, black and white. We found him or we didn't. This case is open until it's closed. The one thing that I wanted to bring up is in April before the disappearance of Breck Phelps, in April 2016, they did find human remains over in that area. They didn't match Patty Sue Tolhurst, nor did they match Nita Mayo. They tested the dental records. And so it was just like, what are these? And this is before the disappearance of Breck Phelps.
Did they ever ID the remains?
No.
So we don't know who it was?
No. People aren't talking about this story anymore. The news cycle being very, I'm doing 2 stories a day. But if it does happen again, people are going to be reminded of these past stories, and it's going to only increase speculation and increase the sense of concern.
Now, if you just step out from this area a little further, there's also a larger cluster in geographical area where there's 3 people missing so close to Yosemite National Park, and the biggest cluster of missing people in the world. I don't know why, I don't know where, I don't know how, but I don't think it's coincidence. Now, within this region, there's a hunting camp dating back to the 1950s. Over the years, the hunters have experienced something highly unusual. And by proximity alone, this is worth investigating.
That's okay, Colin?
And just so people can get some idea, we're not that far outside of Yosemite.
We're not far at all. No. I tell people we're between Yosemite and Tahoe, and that's where we are. If you leave at 6,000 feet elevation, you hike into close to 10,000 feet before you start dropping back into up and down. The whole topography up here changes every year. You don't know what to expect. You don't know what log's going to cross the trail that you have to work your way around to get here. There's really no good trails to get here. And if you don't know where it's at, you'll never find it. It's just one of those places.
What year did the Sierra Camp start?
The camp's been here since the 50s. I didn't start coming up until 1971.
And do you know what brought him to this spot?
Just one of those spots that Warren used to say this is as close to heaven as he thinks he'll ever get. It's so remote. The deer are plentiful. There's a lot of bear up here. It's pristine. There's a lot of granite. Fresh water coming right out of the ground. This is where the springs start. And it goes down to the rivers, and it's just a gorgeous place to be. We was all very sober camp, a very strict camp, no unload before you came into camp. No alcohol was here. It was really a quite disciplined camp. All the guys were professional people, so we kept what was going on up here, whatever it was, we don't know, but kind of to ourselves for a long time. Yeah.
And what was the average success rate for you guys coming up here?
Oh, the deer, it was 100%. We never didn't get a deer. It was just, it's that kind of a place. So that's about 40 feet, I think.
Hunters that come out of here, what's their success rate? You said maybe 20%.
And think things through. We really didn't realize what we were dealing with. We still don't know what we're dealing with, but it was something very unusual. Strange things happen, and most of the stuff happened in the evening time, just at dusk, nighttime, like now. The first time I ever heard anything was later in '71. I came back up with the guys, and we was here by the stove. There was a stove here then. And as soon as it starts getting dark, we'd go in. Sometimes you might hear a grunt or a whoop or a big blowing sound or something like that, and that's when you know you want to get inside the shelter because you still don't know what you're dealing with. Whatever it is big, very, very big. We all go inside, close the shelter door, and that's a log that we put between these trees, and then we'd strap it inside a cable, and then they would start making their sounds. And that was in '71 when I first started hearing them, and we started recording them.
There's two of them across the creek at the big rocks. We were all talking about maybe having to shoot our way out. You're just sitting there, all of you are kind of petrified. You're just waiting for the walls to break open, something reach in there and grab you and hold you up, and waiting for the light to break in the cracks of the walls, and never happened. That's the strange part, because you hear it over there, but you don't see it over there. As time went on, '72, same thing. You know, whatever it was, we thought might be trying to scare us out. Maybe this is their territory, but we don't know. We can only guess at why they were doing what they were doing, and but they were observing us, that's for sure.
Well, we do know that their vocal range is much greater than human beings. Their frequencies go way above and way below the abilities of humans. I was trained in all of the deceptive practices in voice communications. Besides the fact that you have the creatures stepping on each other in their conversational turns, you have the humans, like Ron, stepping on the creatures back and forth, overlapping their voices on the tapes. That can't be faked. Not in 1974. Plus, it would be extremely dangerous to come up here at night into a camp full of well-armed hunters. They don't go to bed at night without their guns at their sides. It's ridiculous to think of it. You wouldn't do it. You wouldn't do it just to coax a bunch of hunters up here.
So from a 100% factual standpoint, we really don't know what's making this language sounds.
That's right. We don't know. One time I heard a big, sound like a huge tuning fork above us, and you couldn't find the source of it. It was just a big sound like that. Sometimes you'd hear a sound out here, and one time we thought our camp was being torn apart by something. We thought the barrels we'd packed in and was being torn up and tossed around, and you look out here when all the commotion and the sound stop, and there's nothing changed. Now, how do you explain that? You know, one time we was in there, I thought I heard a car door slam out here. Now, come on, we're 8 miles in the wilderness. There's no...
So aside from the sounds, you also saw some things in the sky and the air?
Yeah, lights, yeah, orbs. Other guys that report orbs when I wasn't here. Me and my friend Bill saw one night was a big blue ball coming down from up here, slowly moving, definitely controlled. It had some type of intelligence about it. And if you were just looking up there, you would think it was the moon, but it was blue. It was moving down. We lost it behind the trees and went over there. So I don't know what to think of that. You don't know what to think about any of this stuff, you know. We were in a tent. It just it wasn't this dark, but this thing, what it was, just kind of starts moving across over here behind us. Elongated light, about probably 3 foot long, probably about that big around, and just a rod of light. I tell people when I talk about it, it's like a Star Wars saber. White, glowing, but not bright glowing, just glowing. And it just moved slowly through the trees, definitely controlled, and dissipated over here.
Is it embarrassing to talk about?
No, I don't care. I'm old enough now, nothing bothers me.
What makes you keep coming back?
The mystery that's still here. There's still a mystery that needs to be solved or understood. And I'm here now because you're here. I've been asked multiple times to be brought up here by different people, and I've turned them down basically because I don't want the area. It's such a pristine area still. I don't want it exposed to a bunch of researchers come up here.
I saw one, well, a couple of them. It might have been all the same one.
The hunters that still come up, and
kind of piece it together.
Still hunt the area.
I'm trying to find the original.
Kind of keep it very private as much as possible. The shelter, although it's been dismantled now.
I know, Marcy. You know, I thought the same thing at first, a long time ago, but too many people have reported hearing all this weird, funky stuff, sound just like that. I think this weekend we're going to stick on this paranormal stuff.
Nothing surprises me. Nothing up here. Why this is such a strange place, I have no idea, but it is a very interesting area.
We spent 7 days with Ron and Scott at the Sierra camp. And although we didn't experience anything paranormal, this area holds many secrets that we know for sure.
Like the train station? If you know, you know.
The last case I want to investigate is even a little deeper down the rabbit hole.
There's only like 10 minutes left in this thing.
But instead about a strange experience one hunter faced in Lima, Ohio. It's important to note that this isn't a connection to the missing. It's simply an odd event that's worth looking into. And it's associated with one of the smartest people I've ever met.
There's a difference, I guess, between being freaked out by things that you imagine and being freaked out by things that you actually see.
This, I have to say, was the most terrifying experience, but yet I don't know why I didn't react to it, and that bothers me. The hunting in Ohio is awesome. We have some great big trophy deer in Ohio, and we happen to have some of the biggest right here on our own property. was the most beautiful night to deer hunt. It was the second day of season. I wanted to be getting my, run in the woods to hunt. I was really excited about it. There was band over at the high school. By the time I got to my deer stand, I could hear them. It was all settled in. Didn't see nothing coming down the pass. Trails of birds, crickets, everything were normal wood sounds. When you're hunting, you have two of your most keenest senses, is your hearing and your eyesight. All of a sudden, the woods went to this dead quiet. If I had dropped a pin out of that deer stand, it cut off. No birds, no crickets, no nothing. The sun's still up. We were not calling for bad weather that night. It was a great night to hunt. All of a sudden, I thought I had like a mote in my eye. I even took my finger and wiped my eye, like when you get that fogginess over your eye, like it's just. I look and I'm thinking, what is this thing in the trees? It looked like a large piece of saran wrap. It's the only way I can describe it. But this thing was very wide. So I'm up 14 foot and it hung quite a ways down. And I'm thinking, what is this thing?
This is like the Predator movie monster.
Moved and formed the arm that reached over to the other tree. It reached over about 12 to 14 foot, and then it all, like a blob, like sucked into it, and it went to the whole other tree. I had this very euphoric feeling like something ain't right here. Normally at that time I'd have probably got down and stopped hunting, but for some reason I didn't.
So, as you're sitting in your blind and you're looking across, where did the blob come from?
I have no idea. It just appeared in the one tree. As it was moving through the woods, it went from like tree to tree, and then it disappeared. It didn't continue on. So where it went, I don't know. It's like it just, right before my eyes, vanished. And I don't remember taking the picture, but being married to who I'm married to, Dr. Bruce Maccabee, he always said, if you see anything weird, get a picture. I don't recall actually when either that the sounds had returned, because it's like I don't remember. That's not me to this day. Normally I would probably crawl down, come run in the house and say, you ain't gonna believe what's back there in them woods.
How much longer do you think you stayed in the stand?
About a half hour till sundown when it's time to come out.
The sequence of this is Jan goes out to hunt. We have guests show up. We're having dinner. She comes back from the hunt. She says nothing about what happened. It was strange. The guests are about ready to leave. Later on, Matthew sends me an email. There was a sighting by a number of students and faculty at the high school band practice just before dark.
I'm like, holy crap, maybe it has something to do with what I saw in the woods. And Bruce goes, what? And I said, I forgot to tell you about what happened in those woods to me tonight. And I'm reading this from Matthew, and then I get goosebumps. He said this light appeared above the big stadium lights of the football field. Had Matthew not sent that email, I'm not sure if I'd have remembered even that night to say anything.
How many kids were on the field?
At least 30 to 40, I would say.
And was that the high school band?
Yes.
And so this was just before you guys went back to school?
Yes, band camp. Late August.
Late August. So what time of night do you think that was?
Between 6 and 7. We were rehearsing normally out here about 6, 7 o'clock, doing our normal routine, when all of a sudden there was this bright light in the sky that just came out of nowhere. And we all just kind of stopped and looked at it as one.
Where was the light?
So the light was anywhere, it was above the tree line for sure, just kind of hovering in the skyline. Close enough that it could catch your attention, like it shouldn't have been there, I guess. If it was some man-made thing, it was too low to be there.
Okay. What was the weather like that night?
Clear and hot. Typical August Ohio weather.
Okay. What color was it?
Candle orange. As far as I could tell, the thing had no definable edges to it. There were no like dimensions. It was just kind of waxing and waning till it just zapped out. You know, our band director, who never stops for anything, he stopped and turned around and looked at us and he goes, you know, what the hell was that? Before I had time to even like think about what I was seeing, it was gone. And then it was just kind of like an imprint in your mind, like I've seen something strange.
So in your gut, are the two issues related?
I often wonder now. All I can say is it happened within the same time frame, basically, as my experience here. Probably a half a mile over there as the crow would fly.
This is a blackberry. On the back, you have the lens. It's not like the modern ones that have a camera on the front as well as the camera on the back. So I'd be taking your picture right now, but I would not be taking my picture. Something happened to that camera. I don't know what, but there's hard evidence of some weird thing that happened. She took a couple of pictures of herself before the event, which provide a fixed point of investigation, you might say. And she took another picture afterwards. So you have the camera phone doing its normal thing before and after, but right in the middle of this one photo, there's something bizarre happened. The picture she took, the resolution somehow changed for that one picture. You could manually change the cell phone 1600 by 1200, 1024 by 760 or something like that, and 640 by 480. But it got changed to 500 by 400 or something. Numbers that don't exist. I don't know how to make it do that resolution. You'd have to get in there and rewire it somehow, or change the software. But even changing the software doesn't change the number of pixels along the edge of the sensor.
Yeah,
I don't know how to explain this filmentry stuff. And I can't imagine what it looks like is well focused. I don't know what that is.
I've had people write to me and say, well, what that is Jan took a picture of her own hair.
My hair was back through the back of the ball cap where it adjusts. It was tied back.
So there was no part of you that could have been in that
No way, no way.
It would be possible for her to take a picture of her hair if she put her hand back there. But that wouldn't change the resolution of the camera or the bite size of the picture.
So Jan, let me ask you, since that has happened, has it changed your life?
Yeah, I've never been back in that woods to hunt that. I actually ended up buying a redneck deer blind. I mean, I want something surrounding me.
You can imagine if you saw in the woods some strange thing like that, like the predator, you'd probably be leery about going back there again too.
Yeah, I wish we could see it in the picture. All right, here's.
When looking at these cases individually, Aaron Hedges, Tom Messick, Mel Nadell, it's easy to pass them off as isolated, strange occurrences, anomalies. But when you look from an informed perspective and you see hundreds of victims following the same profile points scattered throughout our national forests and national parks, you have to stop and question the reality of it. Is it possible for an 82-year-old man with heart, eye, and hearing issues to simply vanish while sitting alone in the woods? Can a man with severe hypothermia hike 6 miles through 1.5 to 2 feet of snow with no shoes? In many of the cases, rifles, pistols, and archery equipment are never found. These items don't blow away, and animals don't drag them off. Sometimes their remains are found miles and miles off track, where the victim had no intention of ever going. Often they're found in an area that's been searched dozens of times. It's like they've been placed there after the searchers have left. To this point, we've investigated close to 1,200 cases that fit the missing 411 profile. They're not all hunters. Some are children, Some are people vacationing in national parks. Some are just out taking a walk in nature. Each are beyond the scope of normal scientific understanding.
Yeah, I get it. And these things are, this one was, a little bit slow, but the other ones he's got are, absolutely fascinating. And, and little by little, you start to introduce the paranormal aspect to it. What else can it be? And then, later there's another one where it involves kids and like kids that go camping and groups that go camping. And anyway, we'll leave that there. Tomorrow we'll come up with something else, and I'll look for those body cam videos. I know they're out there. If I gotta borrow somebody's, I'll do that. And we'll watch that tomorrow. Hey, everyone, have a good night. Thanks for hanging out with me for this little bit. This is actually a great series. They're on YouTube, so you can watch them there. I think they're free. I have YouTube Premium, but I think they're free. So if you want to look more into it, feel free to do so. Alrighty. I got some TikTok tea, but I think we're gonna wait till tomorrow because I'm really tired right now. I'm tired of being in this chair. Right? I don't know how some people can do it for 8, 10, 12, 13 hours in a row and not even get up. Unless that's why she says, oh, you want to see my dress? Oh, to get up and stretch, maybe. It's a thought. So, but anyway, have a great night. Thanks for being here. To be continued. Have a good Friday night, and we'll see you tomorrow.